What's happening, Paddock? Sam is back from Real Reds Talk. Football is back. Played Leeds tomorrow in Oslo, Norway. Expect to see a lot of youth run out. I think you'll see likes of Ahmad, Charlie Savage, and maybe more. I think it'd be really good to see where they're at if they can compete for the upcoming season. But I'll go with a score prediction of 2-1 United. Nothing too special, but nice little run out. Cheers.
How's it going, lads? It's absolutely great to be back for pre-season. Exciting season ahead. Going to see some of the young players, see Mason Mount make his debut. In terms of my score prediction, I'm going to go 4-3 Man United, and I'm going to go Amad Diallo first goal scorer. Let's go.
Back again, Pima prediction. Lead as some people call them, but I'm confident. I'm going for a 3-1 win tonight. Up the win, up the Paddock.
What's going on, guys? Nick here from Real Reds Talk. Manchester United are back in action today against Leeds, and it's not a league game, it's not a cup game, it's not as much kind of tribalism about it. Still a little bit there, but the main thing is today, Mason Mount gets some minutes, the rest of the players get some minutes, 45 minutes in the legs. Lissandro's back, be nice to see him, and of course get a win because it's still against Leeds at the end of the day. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win, Manchester United, and thank God we have got live football back. So subscribe to Stretford Paddock, smash a like in the video, and enjoy the watch along, guys. Peace.
Jay here for Stretford Paddock, and it's here. It's a watch along. The season has started already. We've only just finished last season already. We're into the fixtures. I can't believe it is happening. This is the watch along. Obviously, get involved in the comments and the chats and hit that subscribe button. We want to get to 800,000 subscribers. Joining me, as always, my esteemed colleague and new driver, Joe Smith. He passed his test this morning. Little backhander for the instructor.
Yeah,
no worries.
The producers said congratulations.
Yeah. So can we have a ring right? You're watching this. Give a round of applause to Joe Smith. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Went all the way to Widnes because I couldn't get a test around Manchester for until October. So I did it. Passed the test. 5 minors. In and out.
5
Bish,
minors,
bash, bosh.
mate. Sick. Do you know what? It actually makes me want to start drinking again just so you can be my designated driver.
Yeah,
I'm not going
wait.
to, but do you know what I mean? I'm considering it. Also, making his debut on the channel is Pat Mulhall. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah? Are you excited about this one, Pat? Not only are you joining us, but you joined us on the day that Joe's passed his test.
I know. Might be able to get a lift home.
Nice.
That's a really good point. Well, I'm going to get insured on my girlfriend's car shortly, but I'm happy to give you a piggyback home in the meantime.
Could you not get her to drive it and you drive him home?
Yeah,
Right,
I'll organise that.
Home from
Someone said only getting a driving test at 30, WTF. Yeah, well, because of COVID, there's been a backlog, so it's taken me 13 years to get a test. So
why do people hate straight away? You've passed your test, right? How can we have a dig? You passed your test, what? You're nearly 30. Pathetic. I didn't pass my test till I was in my late 20s either, so.
Yeah, and I'm actually not 30, I'm 29, so.
Get your facts straight,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Mr. Hayer.
Yeah.
We all hate Leeds, don't we?
Big time.
Big time. So it's a good pre-season game, this.
Yeah.
Bit of bite to it. We're going to get into the team. Obviously, it's an absolute mishmash of Rezzies,
Speaking
youngsters.
of 5 minors, we've got some youngsters in this one.
Nicely done.
Know what I mean?
And also some seasoned pros. Joseph, talk us through the team, please.
Yeah, let's do it. We've got Tom Heaton in goal, which is interesting because looking at the bench as well, there's no Dean Henderson. Do we know a reason for that?
He didn't travel, did he?
He didn't travel.
I don't know why. I think personally, and I'm not sure of this, but forgive me if I'm wrong, this is with a view to his move, maybe. If we get Onana over the line.
I want to talk about
Dean
Dean Henderson in a bit, actually.
Because Henderson to Forest is done in it, basically. We're just waiting for Onana to arrive so we can just sell him because we don't want to be caught short in case anything goes wrong with the Onana deal. That's my understanding of it. Tom Heaton, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Pre-season, he's back.
Yeah, Tom Heaton, and then a back four, which obviously is Fernandes away from being pretty much first choice. We've got Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, and Fernandes in there, obviously. Both of our more recognised left-backs have been at international duty, so they're not available. Then a midfield three of Hannibal Mejbri, Kobe Mainoo, and of course, debutant Mason Mount. That's the exciting one. That's the one we're all going to be keeping our eye on, no doubt.
Mason Mount and Pat making their debuts today, man. It's just debut-tastic.
Debut-tastic. And then a front three of Jadon Sancho, Amad Diallo, and Forson. And forgive me,
Amari Forson.
Amari is his first name.
Yeah, 19 years old.
Him.
I'm not going to pretend I know loads about him. I don't. And I was looking at thinking, Forson rings a vague bell. Don't know loads. Let's have a look. Since me and David Pritt stopped doing the academy review, I need to pull my socks up. But yeah, obviously, big day for him. And Diallo, a striker, which I think he can play there. He can play anywhere, really, can't he? Across the front three, and that's how we've got it set up. Be interesting to see how this pans out.
Yeah, Pat, what do you make of that team? Obviously, there's no, other than maybe Brandon Williams, weirdly, it's sort of a full strength available team, isn't it?
I was surprised when I saw the starting 11. I thought we were going to have a few more youngsters in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to see Martinez back from injury.
Yeah.
And also see Hannibal in the middle with Mount. Obviously, he's having his debut, so that's exciting. See how he takes on the number 7 shot.
Oh yeah, big number 7 debut. Number 7. I always forget he's got the number 7.
Yeah.
I think that this is a different discussion for a different day, but I think the number 7 is done.
Yeah. He's been dragged through the mud for 15
I
years.
think we have to go back to Ronnie in 2009. So the last time someone had it where it was amazing.
Cavani.
He was all right for a season.
Yeah, because the thing before that is people were saying Cavani lifted the curse, but when you think of the run it went on, when it went Robson, Cantona, Beckham, Ronaldo, that is some of the best players in the history of Man United.
Exactly.
Not just someone who gets a couple more goals than you thought.
Yeah.
It had a spell of being literally the best players we've ever had.
That's what made it so special.
Yeah.
Ballon d'Or winners, the talisman, the greatest midfielder I've probably ever seen. Yeah. Those types of players.
Ballon
and then you
d'Or
go
runner-up,
and then you go in a player that got 12 goals.
In fairness,
which I'm not knocking the kid, but it wasn't quite the levels that
in 2010 it was won by a Ballon d'Or winner.
Michael Owen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good shout. But obviously, the Owen, Depay, Sanchez, Di Maria, Valencia. I know Valencia's a decent player for United, but that whole period of it just killed it a bit for me. So we're talking 14 years on since it was last. Yeah. But hopefully Mason Mount will make it. He'll be the best number 7 we've ever had. Yeah. Do we care about Leeds? Who they've got? Do we even know? Does it matter?
It probably gives a bit of an extra 5% to the game because a friendly can sometimes be slightly boring, but I think it won't be boring because it's Leeds. You know what I mean? I'll get their team up.
Yeah, I was going to say, get their team up. Obviously, this is in Oslo. We was over in Oslo last summer for the game against Atletico, me and my better half, and it was roasting as well. It was red hot. But the Scandinavian fans in general are amazing. They just are. Loads of them travel over. Loads of them who actually travel to every United game. Right. They spend £1,500 or something stupid coming over for every game. They're just so passionate. They're proper up for it. And obviously there's been some great Scandinavian players for Manchester United and Norwegian players for Manchester United. There's been Ronny Jonsson. There's been Ollie, of course. Henning Berg. So there's a big sort of connection there. Yeah. So it's good to see him having a pre-season game against a team we don't like in a city or a country that's full of massive United fans, and hopefully some of these youngsters will put in a performance as well.
My Twitter isn't working for some reason; it's not loading anything. So would you be able to get the Leeds team and put it on the screen so we can read it from there? Because for some reason I go on Leeds' Twitter, the account loads, but then none of their actual tweets load.
The whole of Twitter's down.
You know it.
That is just typical, that, isn't it?
Something to do with Zuckerberg, that.
Oh, yeah, Zuckerberg versus Musk. Zuckerberg fact. Should we go onto Threads?
Yeah, let's find the details on Threads. I haven't signed up for that yet because I'm scared.
Have you not?
I'm scared of the data.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, they're allowed to know when you feed your dog and stuff, aren't they? If you sign up for it, yeah.
I feel like they already know that. To be fair.
Do you watch Black Mirror?
I've seen them, but I think it's.
Do you watch it?
I think it might be the most overrated TV show of all
I've seen it all. Yeah.
I was watching it last night. Have you seen that Beyond the Sea one, where they're in the spaceship?
Yeah.
That's grim, isn't it?
Paul, yeah.
Wow, it's dark, horrendously dark. It's entertaining, but it is very. I know Black Mirror can be quite dark anyway, but that was where you're like,
plays with your emotions. That one, isn't it?
Yeah, it was quite deep.
I think it's the most overrated TV show of all time.
I wish to sit on the fence.
You know what I mean?
Tell me what you really think.
It's good, but people go on about it like it's the best show ever. And actually, the first 5 minutes is good when they set up the premise. Yeah. The last 5 minutes is good when they reveal the twist. But too often, the middle 50 minutes is a bit like, oh yeah, we're just seeing this trope repeated again.
That is a fair comment. That I do feel like that. And I do feel like sometimes the twist is coming. You can see it as well, but on others you can't.
Like it's good, but I don't think it's amazing. Like
I feel like there's 2 or 3 in each series which are great.
Yeah,
the rest
maybe
are
that's
average,
it.
really.
Yeah, I think I've only watched 3 of the new series, and one of them, that Beyond the Sea, I thought was really good. But even that, I think that you make a fair point. It's probably 15 minutes a bit too long. Like you don't need. There's a bit where it's just going over and over what's happening. You think, we've established this now. Let's crack on a little bit. But I don't think it's the most overrated TV show ever. Do you know what I think is the most overrated TV show ever?
Friends.
Alexi's gonna kill me. Alexi, our social media guru, he's probably gonna troll me now.
What, Big Bang Theory?
I'm scared to say because he's looking at me.
What's the most
I'll whisper
overrated
it.
TV show
Don't
ever?
tell Alexa. Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad is my overrated one.
Yeah,
So.
Wow.
thank you. 3 seasons it takes to get going.
Yeah,
What's all that about?
I thought it was a load of tripe.
Yeah.
I couldn't finish it.
No, you couldn't. Right.
I turned
I
it
can't
off
believe
after
I've
the
got
second
consensus.
series. Yeah.
Wow, I thought I was going to take pelters here. Alexi, you're on your own, son.
Yeah.
Right.
couldn't
The only
deal
good
with
thing
the,
about Breaking Bad is you using that meme of Hank on the toilet to perfection.
It's one of them as well where...
Oh yeah, and the Ten Hag and what was the other one you always use?
Ten Hag and the other guy one.
Vegas or whatever it was. Yeah.
A lot of people are saying it's the worst take. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What are
I
you
know,
on?
I'm losing the audience.
Rare JL. But here's the thing
I'll
with
say
Breaking
that.
Bad. right?
Rare L.
If you were his family, and let's say your husband has just been diagnosed with cancer, and let's say he's got 3 years left, and for the next 3 years, he is barely in the house, he barely talks to you, he falls out with you all the time, he's clearly fucking off. You probably think he was having an affair, but what he's actually doing is way worse. So that for the final years of his life, he's the worst dad and husband you can possibly imagine. That's not worth the money, is it? Oh, I've got cancer, and also I'm going to be shit to be around until the day I die. What a horrendous sort of premise for a show. Like, it just becomes awful. You know, people are like, I'd spend all the money in the world to have 10 more minutes with my husband or whatever. He knows he's got 3 years left and just fucks him off. Absolute selfish bastard.
Who's the main guy in it?
Someone said that's the entire point.
Heisenberg.
I know, I don't
What's
like
his name?
the point.
What's his name? Guy plays Heisenberg.
Is it Brant?
Yeah.
Brian Cranston.
Brian Cranston. I couldn't remember his name
Cranston,
now. I love him. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he's brilliant. And he's great as Walter White.
Yeah, and
it's an amazing performance.
Towards it, like, there is a bit where I thought it gets really good, but you have to go through a lot.
Yeah.
And I just think, like...
I mean, with the Wires one where you got to push through the second series, I think it's worth watching.
Do you know, I'm a big fan of the Wires second
No, I am
series.
a massive fan.
Yeah, I love
the second series was difficult at first to get into.
Yeah,
but I
it's
feel
very
like Breaking
different,
Bad,
innit?
I just turned it off. It was the family dynamic, as you said, that just put me off.
Well, do you know what? The only reason I think it's overrated as well, one of the other reasons. Go on, people.
Joe, Tom Hartley, and I think you might have got to the root of my dislike for Breaking Bad, said Joe would rather have watched a show where someone was diagnosed with cancer and just led a normal family life until they died. Lol. That's what I want. I want a documentary called Nothing Interesting Happens, and it's just a sad
man
bloke
who gets a terrible news and he's just gutted for the next 3 years, and his family just spend as much time with him as possible doing relatively mundane things.
So, but here's the other thing with Breaking Bad: all of the villains are like comedy villains,
like the 2 assassins with the axes.
And the bloke with the bell. I mean, come off it.
Yeah.
Let's not have these little cartoon Dennis the Menace little villains knocking about. It's like something from Super Mario. Who's the villain? An old bloke in a wheelchair with a bit of straw up his nose hitting a bell. That's just fuck off.
Yeah,
and the two just don't speak. 2 twins who don't say anything with long shoes on. Go away. Come back with a real villain.
I hear
like
that.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
I mean,
the greatest film of all time.
have you ever been in a takeaway restaurant where the manager is one of the biggest drug dealers in the world? No. It's just nonsense. Do you know
Actually,
what I mean?
he's probably quite realistic. I like him. He's a good villain. But the little bell bastard, come on. Anyway, Leeds team. Everyone's... Oof. Damn, people are not loving us right now. What TV show do you like? Here's one. Here's a nice TV show for you. Have you ever seen Rosie and Jim?
On that boat and that.
All over a narrowboat, those guys. No,
Rosie
I think there's loads of great
Rosie and
shows.
Jim. Who's the guy that steered the boat? Running along, chugging along on the old tugboat. What was the song?
That's not the
and
tune.
John who steers the boat. Was that him?
That's not the tune or the song.
I thought it was.
Joe wanted to watch Breaking Good. Yeah, I like Breaking Good.
Yeah.
No, I think
Right.
here's a good show.
They can fucking get rid of this shit as well. People with guitars doing this scouse thing. Go on.
Yeah. Chernobyl. There you go. That's not a happy story, but it's a phenomenal show.
That's a great show, yeah.
Leeds team: Clarkson, Cooper, Rutter, Pervader, or something. I can only see the first half of his name on the app. and I don't know him, so I don't know his surname. I apologise. Giarbi, Hjelde, Sinistera, Drame, Chiloka, and again, it's a double-barreled surname, and I can only see the first half of it, so I apologise for not knowing the second half. Shackleton and Greenwood. Boo. There you go. United subs bench. Let's go through that. We've got Heaton. No, that's not the subs bench. That is the team. We've got Hansen, Aaron. We've got Amaran. We've got Collier. We've got Daniel Kavanagh. We've got Bennett, Hugill, Williams, Bishop, Gerardo, Kovar, Oyedele, Savage, Fish, and Shortire. A few of the youngsters got updated numbers, like kit numbers, the other day. And my favourite bit was...
Can we make some more noise over there, please?
Yeah, ideally if we can smash the room up. Do you know, like, so they're going from like number 70 to like number 28 to show that they've made the team. My favourite one was Kovar, went from number 40 to number 38.
Oh, love that.
He's really gone up the pecking order.
Working his way gradually, to that number 1 spot.
Yeah.
And in 2035, he will get there.
Yeah.
With the number 7.
He's the number 1, but he's drawn a little bit extra on the top. Yeah. He's made it into a 7 because he's obsessed with it. He had a really good season last year.
Do you think that pre-season matters for any of these youngsters in terms of putting themselves in the manager's thoughts?
I think it does a bit. You can't say it doesn't.
I think it should do.
Yeah, playing for United is a good way to show yourself.
Yeah.
But we saw last season, and we've seen it in the past with youngsters playing really well in pre-season. You know, let's look at Zidane Iqbal.
Perfect example.
I thought him and Savage were excellent last pre-season. Like Iqbal in particular, I thought had some really composed, controlled performances, and then barely got any minutes. So, you know, that's not a great sign. But we've seen in the past that it can go the other way. So, especially if you're in a position where we need help, then a good pre-season could help you. I
feel like you make a good point about in a position we need help, because we might not get another midfielder in. But we're still, even if we do get, say, Rasmus Højlund, we still might be a little bit light up front. So someone maybe like Shortire or I know he's a bit young and it's doubtful, but Hugill might get a bit of a chance.
Well, on that, Grivy in the comments has said, I think Diallo is the one player in this lineup that could determine his fate with a good pre-season. So that's a good point. Diallo had that very good time at Sunderland, then obviously has come back in now. We need attackers.
Yeah.
I mean, both wingers. I think Anthony's pretty safe out there, but you know, he's not been so amazing that he couldn't be dropped if Diallo was fantastic. And I think on the left, we might not have Rashford out there. If we don't sign a sort of big name striker, we could see Rashford as the number 9. Yeah. And again, that left hand side kind of up for grabs. So Diallo maybe. Do you think Diallo could sort of come in and have a good season?
I'd like to see that. I feel like it's his time now. Obviously, he smashed it at Sunderland, didn't he, last year?
Yeah,
he unbelievably well. There's that jump from the Championship to the Premier League. But for me, it's Diallo and Hannibal, the two main ones that I'd like to see break into the first team, really.
There were some rumours of Hannibal leaving, weren't there? But is there any more on that?
Not really. Not that I've seen. And by all means, get involved in the comments in the chat and let us know if you have seen anything on that. He was on this list, one of this never-ending list of players that potentially could be moved on. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it seemed the sort of reports were that Erik and I didn't quite fancy him and was willing to sell him, or well, I think it was on a permanent deal. Don't know if that's going to happen. I like Hannibal. He's off his head.
Yeah.
And he's entertaining.
He's exciting.
He's exciting.
Got an attitude, hasn't he?
He has got an attitude, and there's potentially an amazing player there. It's just you think that maybe Ten looks at it and goes, I haven't got the time for this. Yeah. I haven't got the time to nurture and put up with this. Or he might look at it and go, he's that good, he's worth sticking with, and maybe I give him a few opportunities, or he goes out on loan.
Well, you see a lot of photos in pre-season training. Hannibal and Ten Hag seem to be cozying up together quite a lot, but see the same with Van der Beek, and obviously there's rumours of him going. So
it's mad, isn't it? Was it him and Martial got injured?
Well, Martial's still injured from the end of the season.
Oh, is it? Sorry, I thought he'd come back and got injured again.
He's not recovered from that
he's still. And then what's happening with Van der Beek? He got injured, did he, Van der Beek? Because he was in training on it, now he's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Martial is I know obviously a bad hamstring injury can be a long time, but it feels like at the minute, every injury he has, it's the extreme end of how long you can be out with that injury. Like, it was out for, was it 10 weeks? with his last injury. And this one's a I think it was a calf injury, wasn't it, they had before, whatever it was. He was out for ages with it. Took him so long to get back. Then he came back, played a couple of games, and is injured again with a hamstring injury. And again, like I said, I know a hamstring injury can be 6 to 8 weeks, a really severe one.
Yeah.
But it's like every injury he has is a really severe version. It's been 6 weeks since that game.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's mad how he's just, not just injury prone, but like, he's getting the extreme version of every injury he has at the minute.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's terrible luck, innit? But as far as United are concerned, we can't be relying on him next season.
You can't, because I just feel like he's not an option anymore.
Yeah.
And I know he is, because he played some games towards the end of the season. He scored some goals as well.
Yeah.
But then, for like the whole cup final thing, was it Fulham last game of the season where he plays, and then he seems to finish the game and somehow get injured whilst Ten Hag's doing his speech or whatever.
Yeah.
I know that's probably
There's
not.
pictures of him holding his
I think he obviously did it before then, but it was just it was visible from his reaction during the speech. But you think we needed him for that cup final.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's a player that could have made that could have made a difference in a massively important game.
Yeah.
And just again he's injured. And the thing is, as a manager, like we've seen Erik Ten Hag with the likes of Rashford, with the likes of Wan-Bissaka, with the likes of Luke Shaw to a degree as well, getting the best out of him. But if someone's just broken, if they're just injured all the time, there's nothing you can do as a manager. You can try and manage their injuries, you can try and sort of accommodate the training regimen around it or whatever. But if he constantly breaks down, you can't fix that.
Becomes a Phil Jones situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a player you just can't.
Then you look at Martial's goal to minute conversion ratio last season.
High,
it's mad, isn't it?
Is it like one every 100 minutes or something?
He's probably like third or fourth top scorer or something.
If you look at that, yeah. It's like even when he came back, he got some goals.
Yeah.
It just wasn't like he, I think you mentioned Vegas.
They're often tap-ins.
Vegas didn't score, I think, any Premier League goals in like 28 appearances, or whatever, or 26 appearances, or whatever it was. And then I know he scored a couple in the cups. Martial banged in a few Premier League goals when he came back, but he's no good to you, is he? If he's just injured, and I do feel for him. I know he doesn't want to be injured. It's not going to be easy for him, but
it's tough though, isn't it? Because I think people and there is something slightly more cruel and unfair about missing games because of injury than like you like I've missed thousands of games for Man United because I'm too shit to play for them. But that seems more understandable than a player who's good enough. It's obviously more cruel for someone who's good enough but can't play because he's injured. But when it comes to actually the use he has to Man United, he is only as good he's only as good as someone who's not good enough to play for United. If you're not there are many qualities that go into being good enough for United, and one of them is being fit.
Yeah.
Like it's the same as not being good at shooting or not being good at passing or not being quick enough. Not being able to play it has the same overall effect as being shit at football.
Yeah.
So it's more sad, and you feel bad for him, and this, like I said, there's something more cruel about it. But like you said, Jay, you almost just don't consider him an option. No. He might as well not be good enough because he's never on the pitch. So what's the difference? Like, it's a sad situation, but United can't really allow season after season of feeling sorry for someone to be the reason that he stays at the club, because that's not what we're here for, is it? We're not here to give people 200 grand a week when they've got a criteria that isn't good enough to be a Man United player, and it happens to be his body.
I think as well, with Ten Hag, he has got a bit of a ruthless streak. I think that cup final will have annoyed him. Like, regardless of the fact we had a good season, he had an opportunity there to stop City winning the treble, and he didn't take it. It's not his fault, but it did happen on his watch that they went on and won the treble, and he could have prevented that. Yeah. I think when he looks at that and he's the Martial coming back and seeing missing that game, that's the sort of thing where you just think it could get in your head. That I just think, because there was talk one day that even the De Gea performance in that cup final might have been the straw that broke the camel's back with Ten Hag, where he was willing to go give him a chance or renew his contract up until that point. I don't know how true it is, but that played a part in him thinking, I just can't rely on this guy. And I think it might be similar with Anthony Martial, where he's looking at it going, when I needed you, the big game, you're just not there, and you weren't there for 90% or 70% of the season.
Well, yeah, just looking at his injuries this season, so he missed 18 days from July the 31st to August the 18th, so he missed the start of the season, which is obviously a crucial time. Then he missed 34 days between the end of August and the end of September. So basically, all the way from the end of July to the end of September, he was essentially unfit. Then 2 weeks into October, he missed another 21 days. Then he comes back at the end of October, just before the World Cup, and then misses another 16 days between the middle and end of January. Then he missed all of February and the first week of March. Then he gets injured last week of the season and is still injured now. I know we always do this comparison and it's slightly, worn out, but you look at Alvarez at City. I think he played 40 games for City last season.
Right.
And you have to be able to, he's a backup. He couldn't be more of a backup. Haaland is probably the best striker in the world, so there's no question that he's not first choice number 9 Alvarez. But he still played 40 games.
Yeah.
And you have to be available to do that. One of the reasons Haaland didn't get injured, which is unlike him, is because they had such a worthy backup in Alvarez. We don't have that. And Martial isn't even fit enough to be that for someone else. If you can't rely on him to play, then you're not even, capable of being a backup, which is sad. But should we focus? We've got 3 minutes till kick-off. Should we do some score predictions?
Yeah, go on now.
Get your score predictions in the comments. Give us your score and scorers as well. What do you think the score is going to be and who's getting the goals? I'll start with you, Pat. What are you thinking for this one? Score prediction, please.
Off the top of my head, 3-0 United. Going to go for it. I reckon we'll see a Mason Mount goal as well.
Wow. Mason Mount goal.
3-0.
Say that.
What are you thinking, Jay?
I think it'll be goals. I can't remember what I said on the preview. I think I might have even said something like a 4-3 or something. Yeah, 4-3. I'm getting the thumbs up there from producer Ethan, so I'll stick with that. I'll go 4-3.
Did you?
To United.
I don't remember what I said on mine. I'll go through some of these before I give mine. BMW Racing 1974 says 3-1. Patrick Cassidy, who's also been a member for 31 months. We need to get some new icons for the members who have been going more than 2 years now, because Patrick is one of the few that have. He says, my membership will be off to nursery soon. They grow up so fast. 31 months old, wow. I bet he's walking, talking, doing all sorts.
Driving lessons next.
Driving lessons and all sorts, amazing. 45 nearly says as well, so he's realistic. Nicola Madsen says 3-1 United, no idea who scores. Bobby Hanlon says 6-2 United. Darren Cox 3-2 United. P Savage says 3-1 Ahmad Mount Sancho. It's good that Sancho's getting a game. He needs a good pre-season, I think. James Kellen says 3-0 United. Mason Mount brace. A lot of people predicting wins, of course, unsurprisingly. I'm going to go, who knows, 3-1 United.
Yeah,
let's see Mount scoring as well. I think he'll be keen to score, won't he? Because you want to start off well. You're probably going out your way to get a goal.
Do you remember last pre-season? I felt, was it in Australia, wherever it was? Marcus got his goal.
Yeah.
He'd not scored for ages, and he'd getting his goal, and I felt like it mattered. I felt like it just gave, you know what I mean? Like you've broke that duck. I know it's only pre-season, it's friendly, but just to get back on the score sheet. And Martial, I think, did it as well, and Sancho played well, and you felt like those three, it was just happening for him a little bit. Then Martial obviously got injured in the game at this stadium against Atletico, but Marcus went into the season, scored against, I think, Liverpool, won it, his third game in. Sancho did the same. It can help you just get going a little bit and if you do stuff in pre-season.
And on that point as well, I remember the 2019 pre-season when we went to it was Singapore and Australia. Yeah, and we went there, and Rashford looked really sharp then as well.
Right.
And he scored a couple of goals. And I think that was the first year he got 20 goals for United that season as well. Okay. And he just had everyone else was sort of having a good laugh, and he looked like crisp and like energised, and we said it at the time that he looked sharper than everyone else and he was putting goals away, and then he went on to have that 20 goal season. So like you said, it's massive. And we've had Nathan Ellington in here, obviously, who's played in the Premier League, played in the Football League up and down hundreds of games, and he talks about how important pre-season is for fitness, for form, for confidence. Like the result doesn't really matter, but what's going on in these games is absolutely massive for the rest of the season. So I'd like to see a good performance and people looking like they're really up for it. Wow, here we go. Kevin, who's seen Patrick Cassidy's 31-month membership and raised him 35 months.
Wow.
Says, morning lads, 5-1 United, Mount to score. And David Lindblom, who cannot raise but can match Kevin's monthly output. 35 months, says 5-2. Ross Murphy's been around for 34 months. Just an inch in it. So close. Says, we are back. Stretford Paddock Watchalongs are back. United are back. Stephen Howson won his first trophy. Up the paddock. Come on, United. What a week. Can we get a bit of volume on the old football match, please? Do you like pre-season?
I love it, mate.
I love it.
I get carried away.
It's so good to see
I
players,
do.
isn't it?
Do you remember when that one under Van Gaal and we won all them games, beat everyone, like the Scousers
I
and
do remember
Inter
that,
and everyone, and it was like, and I was
Was
like,
that in America?
I think so, I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was. I remember saying like, this, you know what? I looked at the fixtures and we had like Swansea, Burnley, like West Brom or whatever. Just all the teams in the bottom half of our first 7 games. You're like, you know what? After that pre-season, look at the fixtures. We can win all them first 7 games.
Yeah.
We can actually go for it and get a title. And we lost the first game against Swansea at home. Do you remember? And that was the end of that. And I think we took like 4 points from our first possible 12. And you're like, well, this is a disaster.
It was horrendous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was won it 5 points from 5 games or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Or 7 points
It
from
was
5
something.
games.
It was something drastic. But when
dire.
you looked at the fixtures, and especially, you know, he brought in this new system of like 3 at the back, and Tyler Blackett was getting a game, and it was all, you know, it looked like
Paddy McNair.
Yeah, it looked like he knew what he was doing, and you're like, this could be it. But
Was that Borthwick Jackson as well?
probably he was mad when he
really
found
like
out. He just
Jackson.
threw in anyone. He didn't care. He'd just be like, yeah, you know, you're 18, you're starting today.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I think Raphael Varane is now number 5, where he was 19 before. I hadn't noticed that. A lot of people saying it in the comments. That's good. Good to see. David Robotham says, who's been a member for 23 months, says 5-0 to United. Lerone Bernardo, who's been a member for 30 months. These are some of the real OG big hitters here. Says, damn, I'm only 30 months. We've also got Cameron S, who's been a member for 33 months. Look at this. They're all coming out now. Coming out.
It's good
I
to see
cannot
this
raise
as well.
or match, but I come close, very close.
They're
Up the
having,
Reds, up the Paddock and Seal and Houston.
A minute's applause for Gordon McQueen.
Yeah.
That shows you how well respected Gordon McQueen is. United and Leeds United fans applauding him.
Yeah.
Obviously played for both clubs.
Yeah.
Passed away recently. Sad news. And it's before my time, my dad raves about him. Said he was just a colossal defender.
Yeah, no, really good to see.
Ronaldo Brown's in the building. What are you doing here? You joining us?
He's not joining us, he's just wandering about for no reason. We've also, where have we got those? Darren Cox says, get well soon, Edwin van der Sar. That's a
He had
situation, isn't it?
was it a bleed on the brain? I think it was.
Yeah.
I think the last report I saw was that he was stable. I think he was. I think he was conscious as well. I think he's on the road to recovery.
Yeah.
Obviously, we wish him well. It's tragic news and sad news, I should say.
Yeah.
And a true legend. The word legend's thrown about all the time, but he is one.
Yeah.
And hopefully he'll be getting better soon.
The last update from BBC was 10 hours ago, which was he remains in intensive care, but he's not in life-threatening danger, and that was in quotes. He's every time we visit him, this is according to I believe his wife. Edwin is still in the intensive care unit, but he's stable. He's not in life-threatening danger. Every time we visit him, he's communicative, so he's speaking and he's
It's good news.
seems to be aware of his surroundings and stuff. So that's some good news, yeah. But horrible situation, isn't it? Just so scary as well. Of oh, here we go. That's a foul. Right?
Foul.
That's a foul.
Straight away, expect.
It's nice that. Diallo trying to get him behind. Ahmad, should I say? What number's he now?
16. Keno. Carrick. Your boy Carrick.
It's weird, isn't it, that number felt like it had a bit of weight for a bit, but
No, Keane and Carrick,
Yeah.
and then that's the end of that.
yeah, we're not trying to. I like that though. I'm
Yeah.
glad we never. I'd hate if we retired numbers, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
there's
into all that.
like some of the players we've had and not retired a number. It's not going to happen now. Like if you don't retire a number after Ryan Giggs won 13 Premier League trophies
Yeah.
and played all them games, you're not going to retire a number ever, are you?
No,
Like
there'd
that's
have to be someone that came through the academy,
Yeah.
won multiple Ballon d'Ors,
Yeah.
and multiple, like let's say Cristiano Ronaldo's career,
Yeah.
but all at United.
and also maybe and maybe had like a bit of a random number like 23 or whatever. Maybe we'll retire the number 23. 'Cause
Yes, like 19.
Yeah.
We can avoid it.
Yeah.
But if they've 1 to 11, like you said,
Right.
if we didn't retire Charlton's number or like Cantona's number or whatever,
Yeah,
like
you're never going to do it.
No.
Like Charlton's a good one. Like
Yeah.
that's just not happening, is it? Come on.
no, probably the
Right.
most iconic, most important player in the history of British football.
Yeah.
If he ain't getting it,
Yeah.
we're not doing it for Jude Bellingham.
No.
Who's fucking left when he was 16. What an insane thing they did. And
I
everyone's
kind of think that made sense though.
No, Jay.
Because we're still
Diabolical.
talking about it now.
Yeah, but
Like
we're
it was a
talking about-
PR stunt, wasn't it? And it worked.
I know, but let's
'Cause it's
not,
like,
let's
I'm
not
not being funny,
degrade
but
your own football club
Like
for a PR
what
stunt.
was it? What when he number like 20 or something?
Yeah, it wasn't 3, was it?
23.
I think he was 23, right? And it was like Everyone was on about it. It was probably like obviously a PR stunt.
I know, but why?
It was daft, but. And then it's always like that thing in it with Bellingham. And
He's got Zidane's number, hasn't he?
Why can't we just do something more normal, like put a concrete bloke in the stand who's been here, who had a season ticket for 1,000 years or whatever? You know, occasionally you'll see one of them. It's always in Germany as well, isn't it? It's a bloke and his dog made out of concrete, just in his seat, retired his season ticket. I'll be up for that. United, all the ball, absolute dominance.
Yeah.
I'm so glad, like you said, Pat, to see Martinez back.
Yeah,
He's so good, isn't he?
With a new haircut as well.
Yeah, looking crisp. Commentator sounds like he's in a cave. Isn't it like?
Yeah.
That was nice. That was
Nice,
a little
nice football.
It's quick, isn't it?
Yeah. It is good. Oh, footwork. Who was that?
Fulson.
Got
62, his number now.
got
His
his
boy.
ball sort of caught under his feet a bit there, didn't he?
Yeah, managed to get a corner out of
A
it.
bit too much going on. Corner to United. It's good to see Varane and Martinez back as a pair.
I
innit?
know, man. Such a loss, wasn't it, Miners in the season?
Yeah.
I just think it just makes such a big difference.
He's another one we needed in the final.
Yeah, massively.
massively.
Massively. It just exposed De Gea's faults as well, didn't it? Flaws.
Martinez, there we go, he wins the header, but his face. Hannibal back post.
Oh.
It's weird. Do you know Sancho? Does a metatarsal heal and, completely as good as it was before? It's not the sort. I think it is, isn't it? Bones usually are fine, aren't they?
I know Wan-Bissaka there giving Tom Eaton nightmares. It heals fully.
It shouldn't be something that comes back or whatever. It didn't with Beckham or Rooney.
No,
did
Rooney
it?
did it, didn't he? And
Yeah.
back him, like you say. So you'd hope so.
I think he's made a stronger stuff as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's completely snapped, he'll be playing. Tom Heat won. The
Whereas
goal,
Macca
just like
says.
Adam McCullough predicted.
He's going to be our number one last season, he said.
He's our number one
pushing
and
40
only
now,
goalkeeper
is
at
he?
the moment.
He's,
isn't he?
yeah, for this fortnight, whatever.
Yeah. I feel like Tom Heaton he's like, I wonder if they've told him to play more like Onana, like come out a bit more.
Right,
I feel
okay.
like he's like a sort of floppy drive that you can just download data onto. So basically, we've just installed Onana onto Heaton, and he won't be able to do it to the same degree.
Yeah.
But he can basically go out and play that role,
Right.
like some sort of droid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
God loves a trier.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think he is. He's just playing Onana droid until Onana actually arrives. Because he's playing quite far up there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Well,
Look.
He's
Look at him. He's 50
well
yards
there,
out.
Hey?
First touch.
Look at that. Good touch. He's gone Onana droid. Wan-Bissaka still himself, but he kept the ball, which is good. We're just drifting towards a team that's very confident and comfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
1 to 11, aren't we? I like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Mount
what we
is
need.
another example of that.
Yeah, he loves it, doesn't
Yeah. Here he is now on the ball up, whipping.
Oh.
Trying to play him in behind. It's mad that seeing him in the United
I
kit.
know, it still takes a bit.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
it still doesn't seem right.
I'm
No.
loving all the Chelsea meltdown over it
Yeah,
as well.
me
That's
too.
the best thing about that signing.
I remember seeing like Sergio Ramos playing for PSG.
Yeah,
I know he
yeah.
didn't even come
Yeah.
through at Real Madrid, but he was there just
He's
for
so
so long. It looked
iconic, wasn't
mental,
it?
didn't it? Or like Messi
Yeah,
in PSG.
seeing
kit.
Messi and Ramos on the same
Oh,
team
good
together.
turn. Who
Turn
was
that.
that?
It's Sancho, I think, wasn't it?
Really good turn.
Oof.
Good high pressing.
bit of
there.
that.
That's a decent foul that from Mount. It's a good foul that, I think.
Yeah, high up the pitch.
Yeah.
Quick feet there from Sancho.
Look good there. Nice little touch. Little. Big season for Sancho, this isn't
It
it?
is third season. Hasn't really done a lot in those first 2 seasons. Had moments.
No.
He got the goal in the home match against Leeds, didn't he? I think he got the equaliser.
Yeah, the 2-2.
Yeah.
My
I
memory
think
for those
I was
details.
fuming we didn't win
Never
that game.
done
I was there
Honestly.
actually.
Good
for that.
tackle
there,
there. Good
Adam
high
Wan-Bissaka.
pressing there from Wan-Bissaka. Shame there.
Sancho
Sancho
lost
gave it away, but
Yeah, it's make or break season, I think, for Sancho.
No, I do. I think you can get away with everyone sort of wrote off the Ralph Rangnick season anyway.
yeah.
And then last season, Obviously had that break.
Yeah.
Whatever was going on there, get himself well. Had some good moments, but we need to see a bit more, don't we?
Yeah, we need a full season, playing in a stable team, with one manager. See what he can do. Because in fairness to him, if you want to be sort of sympathetic to the circumstances around him, he's not had that yet.
No.
Yeah.
Obviously last season was interrupted by the break that he had, and the season before that was just an absolute shit show for everyone. So we know the manager is. He's in. Like, you've played for 2 years now. Yeah. You can't have a better springboard than that. You can't ask for more than that.
No,
really,
you can't. Make sure as well you are hitting that like button. If you've not done already, subscribe to the channel.
Yes, hit subscribe. Leeds playing it about a bit now. They've got Daniel Farker now, haven't they?
Where was he?
Was it Norwich?
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
I think so. He's got a little Norwich to him. Do you remember him as a player?
No.
He wasn't much of a player.
Who did he play for?
Sorry, SV Leppen, which is a German football club playing in Lower Saxony. Okay, so sorry.
Who did he play for?
I downplayed him. He came through, and you'll know these obviously at Paderborn. They are actually a proper team.
Paderborn.
Yeah,
right.
They, I think that's the name of the. That's the name of the planet on Avatar, isn't it?
Paderborn.
I think they fly to Paderborn.
Star Wars to me, but
Oh yeah, Padawan. It's a mixture of Pandora and Padawan.
Yeah.
But so he came through at Paderborn, didn't really play much there, and then went to Wilhelmshaven, Bonner SC. You know the ones. You can. I don't need to say it. You can say it. But not necessarily the best player in the world. But then he did a decent job. Got to Borussia Dortmund too. Norwich for 4 years. Did he get them promoted?
Probably.
I think he did. Didn't
They
he?
love a promotion.
I've seen the words instantly relegated.
They love going up and down Norwich.
Yeah, he secured the league title in the last match of the season. Norwich were instantly relegated back. Didn't even get to play a game.
Yeah.
They said, no point you playing this. You sit this one out. We know you're going to get relegated anyway.
That's different, obviously, if they secure promotion last game of the season. Haven't they had seasons where they've absolutely smashed it?
Yeah,
in the Championship and still got relegated.
I'm pretty sure they've had 200-point seasons, Norwich, haven't they? There was a point where they got like 198 points, and then next season they got 15 points.
Yeah,
it was so weird, that spell of like 6 years where they came up and down 4 times in it, which doesn't even add maths wise. They got relegated more than they got promoted.
They got relegated twice in one season.
Yeah. Well, that was that one. They got instantly relegated. We're not even gonna. It's sort of like a boy who cried wolf.
Oh, he's
situation.
done that again there, Sancho.
It's
He's
the
shit
team
out.
who cried Premier League status, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've come up and then you've been shit. And why would we even trust you? Well, that's a lovely pass there. Ahmad on the right. 1-on-1, cuts inside, pulls it back.
Oh, save that. That's been nearly
Great
goal.
save.
Ahmad!
Won't sit down for him there.
Nothing wrong with that. Good save, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good football.
Really good football.
Save.
Who played that ball out to Ahmad on the right? That was a really good pass, that. In the middle here. I think it's Mount. That's a beautiful pass, that.
Ball.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
that's great.
I like
Get used to that, son.
Get used to that. Ahmad does really well. And it's weird, because in your head, are these legally... are we playing a Championship team or a Premier League team?
I think Championship.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's Championship. It feels Prem, as you said earlier. You've got the rivalry, so...
If they'd have been promoted to the Premier League...
Yeah.
And they were...
And they've not played yet?
Yeah, that'd be Premier League. But
That's mental, isn't it?
To get relegated from the Premier League and they've not played in the Championship.
So
I think it's a Championship
So
team.
whatever, the last 76 games this team has played have been Premier League.
Yeah.
But this one,
Yeah.
even though it's not a competitive game,
Yeah.
they're a Championship team.
Yeah, that's how I look at it anyway.
That's interesting, isn't it? Go on, Mason! He's lobbed him, he's clipped him! Oh!
That would have been amazing.
He's had a good start, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Look at that. I tell you what, do you remember that video of the Netherlands in like the 70s
He's
when
had a
high
stinker
press
there,
was
that
first
defender.
invented and they're all just rushing?
Yeah.
Well, United had pressed like that then. There was like 5
Sits the
people
roof
just
of the
in a
net.
line.
You can tell. I mean, I don't want to get carried away 11 minutes into a friendly, but it's obvious for me that Mason Mount's going to be the best number 7 we've ever had.
I think he already is. I think he already is.
Okay, I think that's a fair
I think
assessment.
I actually think we should retire the number 7
at the end of this game.
after these 11 minutes. I think we retire it. He's not even allowed to wear it. He's made it that good. What was a bit of a collision? Really good start from Mason Mount. A lot of people in the comments enjoying Mount. Ken Flo says Mount looks class. Cuth LR says Mount enjoying himself. Mount looking like our best player by a long way, according to Aaron Shearer, which so far him and Diallo have been the two that have had most of the ball, haven't they? Nice. You're going to the game in Dublin, aren't you, Jay?
Yes.
Because I'm not going to that.
You know.
I'll be back over here. Yeah. We've got some interesting, exciting news coming out about that very shortly. Haven't
Yes, we have. So watch this space. We'll be
Yes.
over in Dublin. We'll be doing things over there.
Yes.
So we'll have probably tomorrow. We can announce a bit more. No, Friday. I think we'll have the full announcement of what's going down. But yeah, if you are over in Dublin, make sure you check us out over there.
Yeah, if you live there or you're going to be there for the pre-season game, we've got some very exciting news coming out this week.
You know the drill.
Yeah, look at Alessandro Martinez there. Look at that.
Look
at this, the footwork on him. Into Mount,
taking the mick.
back to Varane. Look at this. Mason Mount's never played with such talent, has he? Unbelievable.
Well, he's just received the ball from a World Cup winner, gives it to another World Cup winner, 4 times Champions League winner.
And
So
Aaron
I'm happy for him.
Wan-Bissaka. Well, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is one of the only players in the world who will purposely give the ball away just so he can slide tackle it back. What a tactic. Very interesting. Someone said liking Mainu too. That was Ken Flo again. Mainu looking calm, collected and solid in the CDM role. That was Giblix. Someone said, who's the captain? It's Varane who's the captain.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I guess... Is he... I'm just thinking. He's probably made the most appearances for United of anyone on the pitch, hasn't he? If you want to, oh no, Wan-Bissaka obviously. But after that...
Yeah. You're not going to give Wan-Bissaka the armband either, are you?
Well, I'd like to push you on that.
Quiet character, I think.
Yeah.
Is that why you wouldn't give it him?
I don't think that's him, to be honest with you. I like Wan-Bissaka. I've just done an article for Republic of Mancunian about him, but I don't think he's the captain. I don't think he needs the added responsibility of that. Just let him do his thing.
Yeah. And Varane's just got that gravitas.
Yeah. He's like...
Yeah. Or as they say in France, gravitas.
Nice.
Thanks. Pen Gemar says, hi everyone. Hello. Nice little touch that from Hannibal. How old is Hannibal now? He's getting to an age,
is he it?
Oh,
to say.
He wants a goal, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's loving this, isn't he, Mason Mount?
Yeah. Hannibal. Let's see how old he is. Hannibal is an American psychological horror thriller television series developed by Brian Fuller for NBC. Doesn't say how old he is, though. The series is based on elements in Tom Harris's...
Have you ever watched it?
...novels Red Dragon.
Yeah, I've watched that.
No, I haven't seen it, actually. Is it good?
It's alright.
People loved it, didn't they? And then it got cancelled. He's 20 years old. His old Han.
Do you remember when we did the Watchalong for the under-23s? And he got sent off for 2 yellows because his second yellow was calling... Someone fouled him, so he called them over to get a yellow card, and he said to the ref... The referee said, stop doing that, and he went and tried to call the player off to get the ref to give him a card.
He got the other... someone fouled him. He got the other player, took him to the ref and went, here you go, I've presented the victim of a yellow card.
The referee said, stop doing that, and he went, come on. And the ref just
come on, be honest, accept it.
No, I just told you that and give him a second yellow and sent him off.
It was amazing.
And that was after he'd scored a worldie.
He had such a good game as well until he got sent off. Didn't they end up drawing that game? I think they were like 3-1 up. He got sent off and they drew, but he was still the best player. It was fantastic.
He still got man of the match.
Here's a good point. I want to talk about this. Metanited 88 says, mad how we get more money for the Chong sell-on than Iqbal, and I'd like to raise you, mad how we get almost as much for the Chong sell-on. So Birmingham City have just sold Taylor Chong to Luton for £4 million.
Right, nice.
We sold him to Birmingham City 12 months ago for £1.3 million.
Right.
So we're making almost as much on the sell-on as we made from actually selling him in the first place. We're so bad at selling players, aren't we?
Do you know what though? In that case, I'm not that fussed because I didn't think Chong showed enough.
But not to be worth 1.3 mil.
I think that's... Thing is, like, whenever it's a youngster, you think, he's got to be worth this, that and the other. But when Chong, for me, there was a lot of hype around him, wasn't there, when he was a kid?
Yeah.
Like, loads of it. And then, whenever he was in the first team, like, in friendlies, or he came on for cameos in Europe or whatever, he just didn't do anything. And
Similar to Gomez, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he went on loan. I think, did he go to, was it Utrecht or something like that?
Club Brugge.
Werder Bremen. Yeah, he went on a couple of loans, had a couple of injuries. He did all right for a spell, I think, at one of them, and then was struggling a bit. So he was all right, but I just feel like
it's interesting as well.
It's difficult. It's a difficult one to sort of for me anyway, to convince a club that he's worth 3 or 4 million until now, when he's had that spell at Birmingham.
It's weird because we loaned him to Birmingham, and I know he's not a goal scorer, but he's an attacker.
Yeah.
I think they played him in central midfield a little bit, but on the wing as well. But he got 1 goal in 20 games for him.
Yeah.
And we sold him for 1.3 million. And then he's got 4 goals in 41 last season.
Yeah.
And they've sold him for 4 million. Like, he hasn't, like you said, sort of tore it up really, has he?
And I think I know Luton is actually rolling in it, but 4 million quid for someone, he's probably just a squad player for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Birmingham trying to get some of that playoff money.
Yeah.
So
I think it's easy to go, I can't believe we've only got that. And there's a lot of people kicking off about the Zidane move as well, saying it's a joke. We've not even got, I think it was like 750 grand rising up to $1 million.
Yeah.
And again, you look at it and you go, that is pennies in this day and age. How is that happening? Especially when you see other clubs of a similar size, United, getting rid of their reserves for big money.
So much hype around him as well.
Yeah. But I think with the Chong one, I'm not that surprised because I always felt he was a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah. The one interesting one though is James Trafford.
Is this the one for the kid from City?
Yeah. It's
the goalkeeper who went
bizarre.
for 19 million.
So
oh dear.
Leeds are counter-attacking here. They're through. Oh no, they're not. Wan-Bissaka's one-on-one. He's the exact person you want there, isn't he? Oh, good pass. Good tackle, Hannibal. Really good tackle there. Well done.
He stopped a goal there.
He did. So this was the 3rd of July. Man City accept £19 million offer from Burnley for goalkeeper James Trafford. So 19 million quid for a keeper, which, to be fair, let's have a look at most expensive keepers of all time. Because I'm going to have a guess that there aren't that many above 20 million.
Yeah.
Because of just how keepers are. So if you look at the top 10, Francesco Toldo was 26 million euros. He's in the top 10. So we are looking at somewhere in... Wait, what's 26? Euro. 26 euros in pounds. That's 22 million pounds. We are 3 million quid away from being a top 10 most expensive goalkeeper of all time, this lad. Like, that is insane, first of all. So this is probably the 11th or 12th most expensive keeper in history. Ooh. So for that, you'd expect him to have a relatively decent CV, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Has he ever played for Man City, Jay?
I'm going to guess no.
Has he fought?
Yeah.
He's never played a single game for Man City. He's played on loan at Bolton for 2 years.
Yeah.
He's played for England up to the under-21s, obviously culminating in winning the Euros last week, but this was after they'd agreed a deal. He's never played a senior game in the Premier League.
Where at Bolton? Are they in the Championship? Or League
I think
One?
the League One.
League One.
So
how many games did he play for Bolton? Sorry.
Probably around 65 games, 70 games. So he's played 2 full seasons at Bolton. He's obviously done well.
Yeah.
So you're telling me 2 seasons for Bolton puts you as the almost top 10 most expensive keeper of all time? That is an insane set of circumstances, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that just me that finds that absolutely mental?
Surely Burnley haven't got much more than 19 million to spend as well.
No,
they're not exactly rolling in it. I don't know. It's a little bit odd. I just feel like maybe there's an element of they feel like he's on the cusp of something. Get him now for 19 million. If he has a really good season at Burnley, either helps them stay up or whatever, or if he does want to move on and someone comes in for him, they make money on him. It does seem a little bit excessive. I think it's one of those though. It's weird because it's like 19 million. Yeah, that is a lot of money for a goalkeeper, but for an actual football, it's not loads for a Premier League club to buy a player who's going to play every game for them.
Yeah,
90 million isn't that much.
I get that.
That's the only way I can think it's not that excessive, because I think this kid's probably going to play 38 games for Burnley next season. So to pay 90 million for someone who's going to play every game, it's not that ridiculous. Even though, listen, I've got no love for Manchester City, and there's a reason. Oh we are. Oh dear, there's too many passes there. Someone's banged it in. Yeah, that's the only way I think it's not as ridiculous as it sounds.
And
what is the goalkeeper doing now? He's had a stinker.
For that, wasn't it?
Well, Sancho didn't cover himself in glory.
Another point to this, because I'm not going to let it lie, Jay. If I'm quite honest with you, the most expensive player. I know he doesn't play for Bolton. He was on loan at Bolton, but his only professional career has been at League One level, and up until then, I mean, this isn't the same, but 9.5 million euros is the most expensive a player who's proven himself in League One and then been sold has ever been sold for.
Right.
So I get that he's not been sold from a League One team, but he's only ever done it for a League One team. And up till then, it was Fabian Delph who got sold to Villa for 9 million. Like, I don't know. It seems a lot for someone who's unproven. Especially when
there's several things that sort of, and I'm not trying to justify this. I couldn't care less what City are doing, but I think there's the fact that he's going to be a first team player as a keeper. If you're mint as a kid in League One, in theory you could probably do it at a higher level. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're a striker banging in goals in League One. You go, well, can he do it in the Premier League? Probably not. Yeah. It's a little bit different, especially for that young age to be doing it in a tough league. Yeah. So there's a theory that maybe, because you've got that toughness, you're smashing it in that league, you're doing well for the under 12s or whatever. You could do this in the Premier League. So I think those kind of things play into it. But it did seem, when I saw it, I remember seeing it on Twitter that move had happened. I thought that's a bit odd, considering that we're looking at selling Dean Henderson for about the same money. Yeah. And this is an England international who's played in the Premier League. What is it? 2 full seasons almost, or 3 full seasons. Yeah. So 2. That seems a little bit odd. But
that was what I wanted to say. Yeah. Like Dean Henderson, who's in the box. Hannibal pulls it back. I can't quite get there. Henderson, who's 26, so probably got 2 decent contracts left in him easily. He's quite a young man for a keeper. Yeah. Has played an excellent season for Sheffield United in the Premier League. Yeah. A good half season, unfortunately, because of injury, but a good half season at Forest. They really liked him. We're then selling him to Forest, who know he's good enough to start for him. Yeah. Like I said, he's played for England. He's coming from United, so a similar size club to City, bigger club, but not the same reason of success. Yeah. And we're looking at a similar amount of money.
That's and do you know what else is I forgot to add? I think the United used to have it in the 90s and 90s. Is when you're just dominant, even if you've got a player that's not near your first team, people just think, he's been at City, or he's been, he's been at United, he must be good. Do you know what I mean? Like people just, because you've got that sort of reputation around you that we've got a player from City who's only young as well. It's a bit of a it's a coup for us or whatever.
Yeah, people love it, don't they?
Yeah, because we went through a stage, didn't we, under Ferguson, like getting back when transfers weren't anywhere near what they are now, getting 5 million or whatever for Danny Higginbottom when he played 10 games. Yeah, and just doing those sort of deals where it's not a huge amount, but it's a decent amount of money for someone who barely played for us. I know this kid hasn't played for City, but it's just sometimes that helps, doesn't it, in terms of clubs will it be willing to spend money on you. Yeah. So I think it is one of them. I think as well, just because it's City, people just think corruption. Yeah. They just think something wrong is going on here, something untoward, and rightly so when they're facing 115 charges.
Well, 115 charges and just 30 million quid turning up in the bank account out of nowhere. That's a good one. When's the last time that happened to you, Jay?
Tuesday.
You spent it already?
Yeah, it's gone. He should have scored there.
Is it Fernandes?
Yeah, he's a bit of a relatively free header.
Yeah. A lot of people giving props to Hannibal in the comments. You were looking at for him, Pat. What have you made of him so far?
Yeah, he started well.
Yeah.
Thought he looked good in defence then before as well as going forward. Linking up play quickly.
It's good that tackle he did, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it literally stopping a goal like you said, Jay?
Be interesting to see what happens with midfield. We don't get a midfielder. The talk was getting Amrabat in there.
Yeah.
So if that happens, it might slide. But if we don't get him, then maybe someone like a Mainu or a Hannibal is looked at as an option.
I think he seems
especially
to like Mainu, doesn't he?
We lose a Fred or a McTominay.
He seems to like Mainu.
Yeah, he leapfrogged Zidane, didn't he? Everyone because we all, like you were saying earlier, pre-season Zidane smashed it. Him and Charlie Savage, and you thought, right, they'll go on loan or they'll stay. Zidane, obviously, Savage went on loan eventually. Zidane stayed, you think, okay, he's going to get some minutes. But then all of a sudden, there was times when Zidane wasn't in the squad, and Mainu was. Yeah. And then Mainu got minutes as well.
Oh, what a touch from Martinez, by the way. Ball coming over his shoulder, man on his back, and just controls
Fernandes has done
the
well
ball.
there as well.
He's done really well. See, good space here now.
No, that's not the ball.
It's not been a great game so far, has it? Forson.
Unlucky lad. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. It's still early, but a couple of times the ball's just not got it away properly. It's an interesting.
Do you know what he needs to do? He needs to just have one of those spells. He's just getting all the balls, doing simple passes. Do you know what I mean? Just see the next 20 minutes of just not doing anything spectacular necessarily. Just keeping possession.
Even if you have to just come back and give it back to Fernandes.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Just get a bit more comfortable on it and get out your head a little bit.
Martinez is just so controlled, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. I can't believe how good he is, I couldn't believe how good he was last year coming from Ajax.
I wasn't. We've said this like quite a lot. When we were linked with him,
Yeah.
like I thought, okay, manager obviously wants him, want him, but I wasn't that fussed. I wasn't like, if we don't get him, we'll be gutted. But then you can't imagine if without him now, can you? Because he's been so important for us and so good.
Like that position then when he laid the touch off to Heaton, if that was Maguire the ball was coming into,
Yeah.
you'd be feeling a bit anxious, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And then Martinez is so controlled.
And also, the other good bit is
not a great ball, that.
Heaton knows he can probably expect a good pass as well. So that makes
Go on, lad.
Bobble. Pass to him wasn't great, was it?
No.
Diallo's looked really sharp though, hasn't he?
Lively, innit?
Yeah.
It's like he
Good
keeps
little-
going, keeps battling. Leeds player does us a favour keeping it in.
Yeah. And he finds
Ball.
his feet. He's
Like I
got-
say, it's
who
probably
is
not
it he
a bit
looks
enough
like?
pace on the ball there.
There's a player that he moves like I can see it, but I can't. It's going to end up being someone that's like the best player ever, and I'm going to be comparing him to. But the way he moves his hands and his body really looks like another player. I need to think about that. His sort of his cadence, his gait, his physical cadence.
Do you remember when Fergie said didn't want to get signed Jordan Henderson because the way he ran?
No.
Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, Fergie said, we looked at him in his book, I think it was his second book, he said, because I think Steve Bruce was at Sunderland,
Yeah.
and had recommended Jordan Henderson to Fergie. He said, like, I've got a midfielder, a young midfielder who's mint, like, you can have him for 20 million or whatever. And Fergie said they scouted him, the way he ran indicated that he wouldn't have a long career, he'd get injured quite quickly. Like, I thought
He ran. Do you know there's always
Like-
that one girl at school that just skips everywhere?
Yeah.
He did that.
Like-
So it was just galloping. That's what. And then
but
they looked at that and thought,
I
that's not
feel
gonna work.
like, and I remember Brendan Rodgers, who was a Liverpool manager at the time, had sort of stuck up for him and said, like, Fergie was a bit out of order saying that, like, it's not a nice thing to say, but it's just being overly melodramatic. But I did think at the time, like, it's a bit of an odd thing to say.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is Fergie, sort of latter day Fergie, where he just comes out with just whatever, just nonsense in it. Like Phil Jones could be our best ever player and all that, and Ashley Williams could have killed Robbie Van Persie. Just nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, he's just not asked. He just says what I want. I'm Fergie, I can say what I want. So I felt there was a bit of that, like, he's submitted his book and he's short a few words.
Yeah.
Like, just stick in there. We got off for Jordan Henderson, but
Yeah.
look at his running, and I didn't fancy him.
We thought he was actually.
Leeds are in here.
And for Tom Cleverley instead.
Yeah. Tom Cleverley.
Well, did you see that that was in his book as well, where he said they looked at Thiago Alcantara, but he felt he said he was on the same level as Cleverley.
He has been for Liverpool, in fairness, but no. I think
If
that's a
we'd have got him in 2014, it would have been
Slightly poor
2013,
judgment.
whenever it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I think that was Moyes' decision, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Leeds on a bit of a counter, but nothing comes of it.
No, he's offside as well there, I think.
What's happening with Patrick Bamford? Is he still at Leeds?
Yeah. He's
Just not
playing today.
involved.
He's another one in and out of injury, isn't he?
Yeah, he's had awful season last season, didn't he? Injuries and woeful form.
Yeah. Yeah, it says here, everything we do at Bamford is born out of the belief that we need to live more consciously, to slow our pace and be mindful of the footprint and take care of the environment. That's Bamford sustainability, body care, skin care.
Is that what he does? Is that what he
you mean?
does in between games?
I think that's what he
At
does,
half
yeah.
time.
He's got a little skincare piece. No, he's still at Leeds. It's just, don't know.
Probably bagging 30 goals in the
Fucking
Championship.
about, yeah. They'd want to keep him now, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, he played 31 games last season.
How many goals did he get? 4. 6.
The year before that, he only played 10 though. That was the real issue. 2 goals in 10 games. And the one before that, 38 games every game, 17 goals, which is pretty good actually.
Decent, that, yeah.
Yeah.
He looked like a player who just completely lost his confidence whenever I saw him.
He got a bit of the Calvert-Lewins to him, hasn't he?
Yeah,
You watch him,
yeah.
you think, how were you ever good enough to play in the Premier League? And yet there was a time when Calvert-Lewin was just absolutely smacking
Yeah, he
him.
linked with United once, wasn't he,
Yeah,
Calvert-Lewin?
for like 60 million, they were saying then.
But now he's just completely made of broken biscuits.
Yeah. It can come and go though with strikers, can't it? Like, you can lose it for a couple of seasons and then bring it back, like Callum Wilson or like who was it who Liverpool had who was injured a lot?
Ricky Lambert?
No.
Sturridge.
Sturridge is another good example, actually. But I'm not thinking
Sturridge
of him.
had a purple
The one who
patch,
went
didn't
to
he?
Villa after he left Liverpool.
Benteke.
No. Danny Ings.
Right, Danny Ings.
Where he'd have seasons where he was shit, and then all of a sudden, have you seen Danny Ings? He's got 23 goals this season, and like surprising. But yeah, looking at Callum Wilson, he's like a 10, 6, 8, and then 12, 18 goals. Like, you never know what you're going to get out of him.
But he had a bit of a drop off, didn't he, Wilson, last season? Was it last season around the Carabao Cup final time? Wilson had a little bit of a drop, a little bit of a dip. Yeah. Because I remember seeing like a lot of your lot arguing, Newcastle fans arguing about, was it Isaac who was sort of vying for that spot? But I think, did you play Isaac on the left now, or was it? Yeah.
He's weird, Isaac, because he's one of those players that you watch him play and you go, he's a good player, really good player. Yeah. And then, but he doesn't actually score loads of goals, if you know what I mean. He's the most he's ever scored in a season is 17. Right. And I know he's only 23, so that's, obviously that can grow, but he's a good player, but never been hugely prolific so far. But obviously he's only young. Really compact game, this, isn't it? Whenever we play the ball into the middle, there's like 6 players around us. Oh, okay. He's over at that. Would you have Callum Wilson at United?
No.
2-year deal?
No.
Was it? I wouldn't. I think the process.
How old is he?
31. The process of signing him
chance.
Would make it a bad signing. But I think if we had him, he'd start. Do you know what I mean?
Well, at the moment he would, yeah.
Yeah. If he'd been at the club for 5 years or 2 years or whatever, he'd be playing. But I wouldn't want us to sign him because it looks shit, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It looks bad, but he's good enough to, he's better than. When's the last time Martial got 18 Premier League goals?
This is the thing, though. It's easy to fall into that trap of he's better than Martial. He's most strikers are because they're available.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. But if you're gonna buy a striker, you want to buy someone better than, in my opinion, better and younger than Callum Wilson.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And I think he had injury issues as well. When he was at Bournemouth, he missed about a season for injury.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want to sign him, but you wouldn't mind having him.
It's for me. I know Newcastle obviously, but it's finished 4th. For me, it's difficult to make the argument as well. Like, we're kicking on now, title challenge and all that. Our big signing is Callum Wilson. You'd be like, hang on a minute.
Do you think you'll see the same Newcastle this year as we did last year?
I think they'll really struggle to get top 4 this year. Because I think people always overestimate how many of the big 6 are going to be good. Every year, 2 of them are shit. But it was slightly unique last year that 3 of them were shit. Like Tottenham, Chelsea and Liverpool were all terrible.
Leicester got relegated.
That doesn't normally happen. Leicester got relegated. Usually it's 50-50 whether it's going to be United or not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And one other.
Yeah.
But you don't normally get 3 of them being terrible. So I think they'll have to improve to get top 4.
Also, Arsenal look good for top 4.
I don't even know about that,
I think they do.
You never know.
I think
they look.
I've got a sneaky feeling.
Really, if they get these signings over the line, because they've not confirmed Rice or Timber yet, have they?
No, but they're done though.
Yeah, if they get Rice, Timber. I'm not bothered about Havertz. I think he's terrible, but after the season they've had, I feel like that for me should put them in the mix for top 4. Whereas under Arteta before, they were never in it, were they? 8th and 8th.
I honestly think there's a decent chance that, because all 3 of those, Martinelli, Saka and Odegaard, I think had by far their best goal scoring season.
2 of them got 15 Premier League goals. I think it was. I can't remember which ones it is. I think
Martinelli and
Saka was that?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, which is the first time Arsenal have had 2 players in the same team in the Premier League who've got 15 Premier League goals.
Ever?
Yeah, in the same season.
Right.
Same team.
So the odds of that happening again are quite slim.
Yeah.
They've now got Champions League to worry about.
Yeah.
Which is I know they're in the Europa League last time, but it was a competition they didn't have to go all out for.
They just tossed it off, didn't they?
Like, I think they're as likely to not finish top 4 as they are to finishing it.
I think,
especially let alone challenge. I think they'll struggle next season. I still think there's big weaknesses in that team.
I think they're very reliant on me for
on you,
the kid. Yeah, on me to troll them. That motivates them.
Oh,
He's fouled himself.
Oh, is he alright there? That's
He's
not
done his
good.
ankle or
That.
something
He's just
That'll be alright.
crumpled to the floor there now. He's alright. He's just fuming with himself.
He was a bit platoonish, that, wasn't it? It's like, there's a point where he's like on his knees.
Snipers took him out.
Yeah.
The very line on what's his name, Saliba.
Yeah.
He's mint for him, and I think the wheels came off.
Zinchenko as well.
Yeah,
Zinchenko.
he when he got injured, the wheels came off, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
But it's weird. It's a weird one, Arsenal, because part of me, I kind of get where you're coming from, because I think last season, like, there was this period where Partey and Xhaka were mint,
Yeah.
and like Xhaka's left and Partey's leaving, I think, and it's like, are they gonna have is Rice and whoever gonna replicate that? Havertz gonna replicate what those two players did. Martinelli's very erratic, like you said.
Yeah.
I do rate Odegaard. There's an argument maybe he could even, keep getting better because he's only young. Same with Saka.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. I think a lot of players for Arsenal had their best ever season last year.
And also, when it started going wrong, it went horribly wrong, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like everything, they lost their heads completely.
Yeah.
And I think that what kept them going for a long time was that momentum.
Yeah. If I was an Arsenal fan, obviously you're going to be sat there thinking, we'll push on. Second, first. It's a young team, young manager, etc., etc. We've seen it as United fans, we saw it. We've seen Tottenham do the same thing, where you can finish second and then be much worse the next season.
Yeah.
Like, there's no guarantee that you just keep getting better just because your players are young.
Yeah. That's fair. Fair point.
Especially when you start spending a lot of money as well. They spent 220 million quid already.
And what, to be fair, in your defence, to sort of agree with you a little bit, I'm not a big Arteta fan.
No.
I'm not. I think he obviously did well last season in the league to a degree.
Yeah.
But I don't particularly. He won the FA Cup in his first year, did well there. But they've been poor, Arsenal, for a good. Was it 2 seasons? They were.
Yeah.
The fall from grace was that mega. I feel like that would stick with them a bit.
Yeah, because they were like flying, weren't they? And at one point, I think was it the Bournemouth game where he scored? Reece Nelson scored in like the 97th minute.
Yeah.
And you thought that's the only time during that season I thought they could actually do this.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think they'd win the league.
And all their fans felt like they already had it,
and you thought, okay, when you do goals like that, usually it's something important, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the way he threw it away, like drawing at Anfield with 2-0 up, drawing at West Ham with 2-0 up, drawing at home to Southampton, and then obviously losing at the Etihad, and also losing at home to City.
Yeah.
Like, you just think it'd be interesting to see how they start the season, because they had a bit of a stinker, didn't they, a couple of seasons ago when they started off, lost at Brentford, and
I remember that.
Didn't lose like
so
3
good.
of the first
Friday
6
night,
games
wasn't it,
or
Brentford's
something.
first game in the Premier League, and they beat Arsenal.
So precious as well, Arsenal. Not just the fans, but like the players and the club. Because like, do you remember when Jesse Lingard danced at the Emirates? And then they kept going on about the Emirates dance floor. Like their official Twitter was every time they scored, it was like, this is our dance floor now and all this. You think, why are you getting so rattled by him?
I know.
And
it
then
was one joke 3 years ago. Yeah.
And then Ivan Toney did it with Ivan Toney because he tweeted about just another day at the office or whatever. And when they beat Brentford a year later, they're all retweeting that. And I think you're just like kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, you probably get.
It's weird because they're
precious about it, rattled so easily. That doesn't bode well for you as a group of players.
They seem very thin-skinned and I think they seem quite childish.
Yeah, like
actually,
it's just shrug it off and forget about it. But it's like they couldn't wait to sort of go back to what he'd said a year ago and throw it back in his face.
Yeah. Actually, we'll go through it at half time, but just interesting formation we're seeing here. That's a foul.
Is he not even? Has he give a play on?
Yeah, play on. Oh, he wants a goal, doesn't he, Ahmad? Unlucky.
He's played well, Ahmad.
He has. He's looked good. Was it Mount who just got fouled there as well?
The midfields look good.
Yeah.
Other than that,
he's basically playing. It's like a 4-2-4 almost. When we've got the ball, there's 4 men on their back line that we're just pinging balls into. He's unlucky here, Ahmad. Well, I say he's unlucky.
Does well, just not.
Does quite well, just not well enough.
Yeah, Ahmad's out on the right a lot as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ooh. Would you have him over Anthony?
Ahmad?
Yeah.
No.
Based on this 41 minutes,
I like
only a bit of which have been on the right.
I like him. I think he's good. I think he's underrated, Anthony.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of stick, Anthony.
It's just like, you can see what he's about. You can see why the man is like. He just needs to work on his finishing a bit, doesn't he? Sometimes his finishing can be a bit annoying, but there's definitely a player there.
Good head. He's looked good, Manu, I think. Nice. Good pressing from Mount there again, and good quick feet as well. Really good stuff that from Mount. 2 or 3 times he's won the ball high up, or given fouls away high up, just getting involved. It's a good, almost a good pass.
It's weird, this game, isn't it? Because it's such a mishmash of some of these players that obviously aren't going to feature next season, and then 1 or 2 that are. It's very difficult to sort of gauge anything from it.
That's impossible, isn't it?
Come on, man.
Can't pass it through 6 players. If you had footballer money, would you get a hair transplant?
No.
Have you ever considered it?
I'm not that bothered.
No.
To be honest with you. I don't mind a bit of surgery. I had rhinoplasty, didn't I? I didn't even have footballer money. But I'm not.
You got that second nose added, didn't you?
Yeah, I got it added to my belly button. But
smell this.
Hey, have a bit of that. Hey, just for extra sniffing. But so I can sniff from my key and the table at the same time. It was glorious.
Under the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows what's going on
Best
now?
£4,000 I ever spent. But no, I'm not bothered.
That's where that's where the footballers' money would go.
Yeah. Isn't Rooney having a hair transplant and he started losing his hair again?
Yeah, Rooney's sort of in that bigger fish to fry column at the minute, though, isn't he?
In what way?
In the sense that he's got a little timber on him.
Oh yeah,
he's got a little Portland Timbers going on, hasn't he, out there in MLS.
It was so
did you see that
inevitable
interview of him the other day?
Yeah,
he's got a cap on.
He's a big lad, isn't he?
He's got a cap on, and I think, do you know on Matilda where Harry Wormwood can't get his hat off because it's glued to his head? I don't think he can get that cap off.
Right.
I think he put the cap on,
gained weight,
put a stone on,
and
now he's technically fused. It's fused. If he takes it off, he'll have a tiny little top of his head.
Yeah.
Before he put the weight on. Like you said, it was always going to be that.
Like, people said that when he was 14.
Yeah.
Like, he did.
Yeah, they did.
They went, because he looked like a man when he was 11.
Yeah.
They were like, when he's older, once he stops playing football, he's going to pile on the pounds. And also the fact that he used to get leathered when he was like 16.
Yeah, he's looking a bit pink.
Yeah, like, he's going to stop looking after himself in any way, shape or form once he stops training every day.
He needs to keep that beard as well, because I think it's hiding a number of sins at the moment.
Yeah.
Or maybe a number of chins. But yeah, keep the beard. Don't go Alan Brazil. Just
I'd hate to see Rooney do that.
Me too. Like, don't, because there was a point, I know he's lost a lot of weight now, but Steve Bruce, he said it himself, didn't he? Like, he just got massive. Just like,
he said it himself. I'm just proper huge, didn't it?
He said,
do you know what? I am absolutely mahoosie.
He's literally hearing the word bacon about it wasn't being said.
Bacon.
How's the bacon did you say? You're like,
no.
When you're hearing an audio mirage of bacon, you know, and he did lose a lot of weight, but I'd hate to see that for Rooney.
Half time, 0-0, Manchester United and Leeds. Good performance by the Reds. Didn't have it all our own way. Leeds had a few chances there. Hannibal Mejbri played very well indeed. I thought it was a good performance for Diallo as well. Andy Tate is here. We're going to hear from him because I need to lose as well. So Andy, come over here.
Yes.
And you, Pat and Joe can talk us through that the first 45 minutes for Mason Mount. If you
We've got a few comments as well that we'll go through quickly while Andy's getting stuck in. Suvik says, question for the panel: if they remain injury free, how can we improve on a Varane-Leacher partnership? I mean, in terms of buying new players, or just how can we make them better? I don't know. I don't think there's anyone out there who can improve them at the minute. I don't think that's a priority at all, is it? Hello, Andy.
Hello, long time no see.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Car in the garage today, running around like a blue ass fly, but I'm here for the kick-off.
Good stuff. What did you make of that first half?
Enjoyable.
Yeah.
Bit enjoyable. Say a bit of a mix with the experience. I'm glad to see Martinez back. And let's say Eaton as well, getting some game time, doing a bit of an Unai impression. Mm-hmm. If that's what we got, if like you say, if that's been programmed into him, then we're gonna have a good season. Mm-hmm. Enjoy, have a laugh with the goal.
It's certainly exciting, isn't it?
Certainly exciting. Varane lovely tribute to God McQueen as well. God
Yeah,
rest
it was
him.
nice.
I like to say, because I grew up watching him as well. So Mason Mount played well. Ahmed doing the business. Sancho looking a little bit on top as well. So
Yeah.
been positive. Should be 1-0 up at least, maybe 2.
Yeah, we probably could have got a goal, couldn't we, Pat? Who stood out for you in that first half? Who do you think looked good?
Mount started well.
Yeah.
I think he looked good first 10-15 minutes. Hannibal and Ahmad looked good together. Sancho as well, as you say, he's been linking up play nicely. Could have got that goal as well if it wasn't for that save, but I expected a little bit more, but obviously it's the first game of pre-season.
It's not like Liverpool last year when it was the first game, like when they were playing in Liverpool, in Australia, and it's like we were like 4-0 up, 3-0 up, 4-0 up after like 30-40 minutes. And
Martial got a hat-trick or something.
Yeah, he's like, where's that gone now? But but it's first game back, and let's say in the next couple of games you're going to see senior players come back, more experience.
Well, that's it. You'll see Mount next to Casemiro and Fernandes, which is exciting.
Yeah, I think Mainoo's looked good though. I think he's had some good touches, and there's a little dummy in there when the ball was rolling across him, and he sort of went and then let it go across his body.
I want to see Palestri on the tour as well. Let's see what he's got, and I'd say Ahmed, he's getting his chance now.
Yeah.
He had a great loan season with Sunderland. Scored some fantastic. Got him into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, they were dead and buried, and that goal at Preston, that was something special. That
It was.
Yeah. Just. Sorry to interrupt you there. Just a few people in the comments talking about Sancho. Not everyone loving his performance. Is it too early? Do you think people are bringing in a bit of opinion from last season on him, or do you think he's not started well? It's only pre-season, isn't it, Andy? What do you make of Sancho's half?
The cup final's still raw for some people.
Yeah,
it's still raw. Just like no fight. They can say all they want. They didn't fight for all, as far as I'm concerned. It was 11 young lads against a grown, mature Man City team, and they didn't give a fight. That's what's in this team. It's in them to actually do it and beat teams, and it's in them to not down tools, but not rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
But it's a bit harsh on Jadon Sancho for first game back. But they say the cup final's still wrong. You were saying like Ten Hag, like he's been ruthless as well, and he's Sancho's on his last chance as well. So he's like that cup final defeat irritated Ten Hag. You could see it, and he's. If some players won't take that on board, he's going to get rid of them.
He's an interesting player, isn't he, Sancho? Because he seems to be someone that relies on the players around him being very good more than someone... Like, if you compare him to Rashford, they're just, like, complete opposites, aren't they?
Pogba.
You can give the ball to Rashford, he can create something out of nowhere. Whereas Sancho, it's like... It's all very small, intricate bits that relies on a good movement
Pogba
from a striker
like
or a good finish from a striker.
You've seen the best of Pogba because he had all that class round him.
Yeah.
So it's the same sort of scenario here for Sancho. So you might have a valid point there.
Yeah. But is it a bit early to criticise, isn't it? 45 minutes into pre-season.
I feel like it is too early to criticise. I feel like he's got a bit of shroud of negativity hanging around him just because of how things have gone the last 2 years. But I think, as you said before, it's make or break season for him. Give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a talented player, so hopefully we'll see the best of him.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Zach Purvis, who's been on for 24 months at least, says, I'm incredibly impressed with Hannibal, Ahmad and Jadon today. So he's on the other side. He thinks Sancho's been good. You can tell it's the first pre-season game, but the kids look good. Sad Varane is not number 4. He's number 5, which is still pretty good. I think I agree with you, certainly on Hannibal and Ahmad. I think he just has a bit of excitement to him, Ahmad, doesn't he? Every time he gets the ball, you can tell he looks like someone who's said before he came out, this is my chance to prove myself. He looks like he's playing to prove himself.
That's the Ahmad that was at Sunderland at the end of last season, and it's like he's brought that into this game.
Yeah.
So if he carries on with it, you might see some goals on this tour. So,
it'd be good to see that. It's nice. I know obviously you shouldn't be trying to play above yourself just to get, to impress the manager. You want to do what you can do and, not push yourself too far, but it's nice to see a player like Ahmad come in and go.
Yeah, I don't want to see him go out on loan again.
I
don't want to. We have to give him a chance.
I think I think Ten Hag needs to decide: is he going to be in the squad or should he be sold? I think, like you said,
you don't sell him.
No, but I'm saying
the talent.
I don't think a loan is a good idea. Arush says, Forsan is Balotelli reincarnated. Don't know about that. Sean Casey says Starboy Sancho with some laughing faces. I do think it is a bit early. Not obviously Sancho's been at the club for 2 years, but I think in terms of 45 minutes into a pre-season, we've seen plenty of top players have steady, slow pre-season games. It's not. It's, that's the whole point. These games are to build fitness and to get into the side. And also, like I said, he's the sort of player that relies on good runs off him and good players around him, which we've not really had a lot of that over the last couple of years. But I mean, at some point, hopefully we'll see something from him. Coach Zach Purvis again saying Jayden is playing false 9, not his primary spot. There you go. Liam Priestley's been asking for a while. I've seen it, Liam. Mitrovic for 30 million. What are you saying? Would you fancy it? People think he's just asking. I don't think there's any links there.
I don't know, mate. We're looking at bargain basement here. Like, it's that option A, B, C is gone, and now we're looking at D, F, G. I'll just go through the flipping alphabet this summer.
Yeah, he's obviously a very good finisher. But you look at his numbers back and forth. I know 14 Premier League goals isn't bad, but it's not great, is it? So it's like he plays in the Premier League first time round, gets 1 goal in 6 games, then goes to the Championship, 12 goals in 17, phenomenal. Then comes to the Premier League, 11 in 37, back to the Championship, 26 in 40, brilliant. Premier League, 3 in 27, back to the Championship, 43 in 44. He's been linked to move to Saudi, so that's, I guess, where the link's coming from for 25 million.
Everyone's going there today.
I don't want a player that's, whenever they play in the Premier League, they're all right, and whenever they play in a worse league, they're amazing. Like, I just don't think he's quite good enough. He's 28 as well. He's not dead young. Yeah,
hot-headed as well.
Yeah.
I still want Harry Kane. I still think if deadline day, something may happen. If we get new owners, here's a toy. Bang, 80 million quid. We bag him on deadline day. I know it's daft, but anything can happen.
Yeah. Ben says Martial started less games than Mitrovic has scored goals. But again, it's not about picking someone who started 20 games and therefore they're good enough for United. You've got to think about how much money we've got to spend, what that would mean in terms of the priority of that player. Like, if you spend 30 million on Mitrovic, you're not just going to not play him. 30 million is still a lot of money. Like, I don't think he's good enough to lead the line for United trying to push for Premier League and Champions Leagues, is he? Come on.
We couldn't even give Martial away, let alone, you know what I mean? He's got a year on his contract, and what we're going to do, he's just going to sit and just doing just say a sick note again.
Yeah. Tough, innit, really? Do you feel bad for him?
Yes and no.
He must do a bit,
yes and no, yes, because he's, like you say, he's come out, he played with injuries, he come out and said, like, he was played when he was injured, and he was like begged to be played by Solskjaer. And if that's true, and there's the medical department, it's not on that. You know what I mean? That Martial from lockdown, that was fantastic. After we playing football, I mean, that hat-trick against Sheffield United was amazing. Yeah, and he was on fire, and he sort of like just fizzed out.
Yeah.
There was that Liverpool game start of last season where he looked great. His link-up player Rashford looked like...
He got an assist, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like that top front three was exactly what we needed.
Well, these guys met him in the lift, and he sounded as a pound lad, and he was so positive. He played well. He scored in pre-season, and he just like fell off a cliff.
Yeah,
I know. Tough, really, isn't it? Tenar was talking before the game about Mount, because I want to talk about him. He said, I'm sure he'll contribute to the success of United. He's a quality player. He has ambition to play offensive, but he wants to be multifunctional, be complete. He wants to attack, wants to defend. He will bring energy to our game in our analysis.
Yeah, I like Mount. He looks good, and everyone's moaning about him having number 7. Oh, jog on, you tart. You know what I mean? Jog on. It's just a number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I say Ronaldo was his idol. Everyone's going about Garnacho.
Yeah.
So it's just a number. Even Messi was number 19 before he became the 10 that he was on the planet. So it's just a number.
Yeah, it don't really matter, does it?
No.
And to be fair, I don't mind giving it to someone that's a bit more established, because if you give it to Garnacho, it's just more pressure, isn't it? I don't think we need to give him extra pressure. And there's no one else at the club who would suit the number who is worthy of it.
Look at he's number 47.
Yeah.
He's not changed any number over the years, and he's made that his own number.
Yeah.
So it's just a number's nothing. It's a special number. Don't get me wrong, number 7. But it's just a part squad number. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. Dead Pixel says Sir Alex gave it to Owen to take the pressure off the number. I don't know if that's what he was actually doing, but it certainly did.
Valencia
took some of the shine off it as well, unfortunately. Yeah. Ben says again, 7 isn't just a number when United are involved. There's a whole different level of expectations. I think the expectation thing is a good point, because even if it's to us fans, if it's not necessarily the most important thing, you will be talked about differently in the press and on social media if you've got the number 7. So it does add a little bit of pressure maybe, but I think Mount can deal with that. Javier Lopez says, Mount looking good in midfield. Can't wait to see him play alongside Casemiro and Bruno. Greetings from Puerto Rico. Greetings. Someone just said Ecuador with a love heart, which is great.
Cool.
People think Garnacho maybe, but we'll see. What do you expect to see in the second half, Andy? Do you think we'll see a load of subs at half time, or do you think we'll go for the win and keep some of those first team players on?
Yeah, I think you got to make some changes, like I say, utilise your squad and all that, and you got other players coming in. So, some of the kick-off times absolutely mad. They've been like 10 o'clock at night, 4 o'clock in the morning.
2 o'clock in the morning, one of
2
them.
o'clock. You're not getting me out of bed to coming in for that.
We'll try and get you on a watch along, so you'd think we'd pay you double, but we pay you half for those.
I know,
because technically no one's going to be awake to watch it anyway.
It's like a couple of cookies, milk and cookies for your bed treat.
Some sort of supper.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
supper,
a cup of coffee, and that'll get you in.
We've got Wrexham and all that coming on. That's going to be fun.
Interestingly, seen a trailer for that now. That
I've seen a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool clips yesterday with Wolverine. Can't wait for that. Oh yeah, got stabbed right up his back with the claws, just come like that, and he threw him. Fucking can't wait for that.
That'll be good. When was the last Deadpool? There's been 2, aren't there?
Yeah, Deadpool 2,
I don't know if I've seen the number 2. 1 was good. Danny says, United have history in the number 7 shirt. Other clubs may not have those symbols, but we do. Giving it to an academy product or entertainer would have been more apt. Who is that, though? Rashford would be the obvious one that ticks both of those boxes, but he's got number 10, and that in itself is an iconic number. So he's not going to give that away. Dennis Law, Rooney.
Even George Best wore number 10 and 11 years.
Yeah, I think was Van Nistelrooy number 10 as well.
Yeah, Mark Hughes.
That's a good number in itself. So who would maybe Anthony is a bit more of an entertainer, but again, he's got a lot of pressure on him already because of the price tag. I don't think there was an obvious
so many
option
numbers now. It's just a squad number, but it's them iconic numbers from the past, isn't it? Brian Robson as well. So Cantona.
Yeah, definitely. Let's just have a little look in the comments. Padraig Moran says, "Give us a shout out, Andy." Go on then. Just say hello to Padraig.
Hello. Hello.
He loved that.
Hello.
Yeah, that's true. What are you expecting second half? Do you think we will see more of the same, or are you expecting some changes?
I expect a few changes. Maybe see Shortire come on.
Yeah.
A couple others. They say give him a bit of a run around. Good to see some new faces on there.
Yeah.
I like to see Mount stay on as well, get his goal.
Yeah.
But I expected a goal in the first half, to be honest. So
we're seeing loads
new
of changes.
Goal head. Wow, changing the guard decks, isn't it?
Savage with the captain armband.
Yeah, Savage, captain's armband. You can see Brandon Williams there. Gerardo, Gore, Savage. I think it might be a full 11 switch here.
A proud moment for Robbie Savage.
Yeah, that's Will Fish as well there, I think, giving high fives. We've got quite I think it might be a full 11. Yeah, 11 changes by the looks of it.
That's fair enough, innit?
Bennett.
Number 66. Ooh.
Yeah. Robbie Savage is a big United fan again now.
Yeah.
Leeds, Bamford's
It's a shame Leeds went down for me. I like smashing him.
Oh, here he is. Look, Dan James.
Oh, yeah, Danny boy.
Bamford, here he is. Look. What's his name? I always forget his name. Luke Ayling as well has come on. We've gone sort of to our reserves, and they've brought half the first team on.
Yeah, seems like it, doesn't it?
They've got
Bamford there.
Yeah, Bamford. Sheet Game says, I'm coming to Manchester and Old Trafford for the first time for the Wolves game, and I can't wait. Keep up the great content. Have a nice one in America. Thank you very much. Enjoy the game. That's Monday night, isn't it?
Monday night, 8 o'clock, yeah. Busy weekend for me, that. Busy weekend.
Do you like being a Monday night? First game of the season, I want to get it out of the way early. Personally, I'm so excited to see United.
It drags everything. You know what? It's a Saturday. It's in the anticipation of the Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah.
It has to be a Saturday, but wow, we've got 3 o'clocks in it. We've got 3 o'clock games this season, so because we're not playing Thursday football.
Yeah. Although we still don't get many 3 o'clocks, do we? Because they want us to be televised.
Wow, Nottingham Forest.
Saturdays though.
Nottingham Forest, 3 o'clock. I think Brighton's 3 o'clock. Tottenham's 5:30 on a Saturday. Arsenal's a Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's like, at least we're getting some frees on a Saturday's nice.
Yeah. Kovar's come on as well, I think, in goal, who had a really good season actually. Just going to double check where he was at. I know it was Sparta Prague. But he played 28 league games from 32 in all competition. He was pretty much their first choice keeper, and I think
We're looking at selling him to Sparta Prague. Yeah?
has that been the rumour?
That's what I've seen. Yeah.
They didn't. Yeah, they won the league as well, which is very good. Yeah, they won the league last year, so he was their starting keeper whilst they won the league, which is obviously pretty good. Yeah, he's got the Czech First League trophy to his name, which you would think that'd count for a decent bit when you consider Bolton keepers are getting sold for 20 million quid when City have got him.
That was mad. That was a mad save on Sunday. Seeing that is like,
it was a good save.
Yeah, it's like a pinball, bang, bang, bang. Yeah. It's all done.
Yeah, might be a bit slower. It's slightly.
This is pre-season friendly.
Proper pre-season, isn't it? Full 11 kids.
To me, to you, to me, to you.
Yeah, short tyre on. Hugill on as well.
Yeah, the Leeds fans will be smelling blood with this.
Yeah, they've got Dan James nipping about. We took a good test from actually, because it does. We haven't got the teams up in front of us because obviously there's so much change, but we'll get that up in a minute when we've seen it all. But yeah, let's see if United can get a goal. Still pressing high, United. Good to see straight away.
Oh boy!
And they've won it in the box here.
Go on,
Who's that? Oh, he got a nice strike on that as well. Blocked quickly. Brandon Williams winning the ball back. Will Fish on the ball as well. It's nice to see him with that same intensity and high press.
Desire, yeah. Because, well, like I said, they've got a lot to prove, haven't they? This is their chance.
Yeah, they're good players.
Maybe one or two of these lads will make it into the first team this year.
Yeah. Gerardo with a overhit cross there, but good pass out there from Gore. These are the lads who were putting a shift in to try and start the next game, aren't they? And then see what they can do from there. Modu says Mainu is really playing a beautiful and sensible football. Interesting. What have we got here? Adley Brand Club says, Andy, how are you not happy that Leeds went down?
I like smashing them.
Yeah.
And I want to smash them again. But what's a pre-season means nothing.
That's true. And also we're not smashing them yet. But we would be.
I just like beating Leeds.
Yeah. I think what was it? 3 wins, 1 draw, wasn't it? Was our record against Leeds.
Yeah, and we should have won that 2-2.
Yeah,
There's still 20 minutes to go. we should, you know what I mean? We switched off after the first minute, and the first minute, the second half as well. So yeah, it's a good comeback though. Yeah, but we should have won it.
Something special about playing Leeds though. You feel it in the air, similar to like.
Yeah, it goes back. It goes back all the way to the 60s, doesn't it? So. Yeah. Leeds winning the title in '92 as well. So yeah.
They're holding a bit more of the ball, Leeds. The Francie Brady says, did Andy watch the hurling semi-finals at the weekend?
What, throwing up?
I think it's the...
That's a competition on Saturday night if you're coming out of the pub at 2 a.m, yeah?
I've never seen hurling, really. It's Irish, isn't it? Sort of a mixture of hockey and lacrosse or something almost, hitting the ball in the air.
Yeah, something like that. I've been watching Gaelic football this summer with my brother and my sister were like, yeah. Mayo, I think they were playing the other week.
That's one of the hurling is one of the Gaelic games as well. I think we're going to get Jay back in as well in just a second if he's available. Kovar with his first touch on the ball, out to Fish, and we're going Brandon Williams playing as well. He's in a weird position, Brandon Williams, isn't he? Because you'd think that if he doesn't leave now,
he's got to put himself in the shop window.
But how old is he? Brandon Williams, who
21?
is 22 years old. He's had a season where he was basically first choice, then not got back in the team since, and he's been out on loan, come back. He's at an age where he needs to be basically playing for Man United.
Hardhead.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we'll see where
recently, wasn't he?
I know there's all sorts going on there. It's an odd one though. Like it was 2 years ago now when he had that loan at Norwich City, looked good, came back, What do you reckon, Jay? Nice to see you back. Brandon Williams? What's happening there?
Yeah, there's been off the pitch rumours, aren't there, reports that maybe he's not as clean cut and dedicated as he could be. Yeah. I don't know how true they are, and I'm not saying that's the definite reason, because it's unfair to label the kid as problematic, but there was a lot of rumours and reports that was
see him with Meeks and Lyndon Arthur every week.
It was just it was one of those where you're like, is that something that's maybe scuppering his progress a little bit? Because I remember when he came into the team, Brandon was like 18, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's like, no one expected him to be getting in the team, and he did. And he did really well. And he's the kind of player, Brandon Williams, you can get behind, he gets stuck in.
Yeah.
He's like one of those. He doesn't shirk a challenge. When it kicks off, he's always there.
He obviously loves United as well.
Yeah,
he's got that about him.
Mank, born and bred and all the rest of it. But
you want to back the local lads as well, don't you?
Yeah, and by now you think, like say 4 years after his debut or whatever, you think he'd be featuring. But
it's weird, isn't it?
He's just, is he on now? Sorry.
Yeah, he's just come on, so we've got the new team there. Only two subs
Speaking of
left
Devils on the ball.
But yeah, Williams has come on at left back. There he goes. Just loses the ball.
Give the ball away. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who else is on there. Is it Charlie Savage? Charlie Savage even is captain.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a turn up for the books, but I'm guessing that there's no other real options at the minute. This is very much a under 21s team.
Yeah.
So the average age must be about 20, 21 now, if that.
Probably less. Yeah.
I know it was a joke when he made his debut, but I think we can safely say now that Charlie Savage has surpassed his dad on it in terms of footballing achievements.
Yeah.
Captain in Manchester United is better than anything Robbie Savage ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
Like, I'm pretty sure Robbie Savage would probably agree.
Yeah.
Definitely. That must be meant that, though. If you don't make it at United, and then your son goes on to captain him, albeit in a final, in a friendly, sorry, it's still like, that is mint.
That is great, isn't it?
It just is, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Imagine captaining United. It's weird, isn't it? Because you think of it always a friendly, but he is the captain.
He's literally
the captain.
Yeah, he's literally the captain of the Manchester United team.
That is brilliant, actually.
Regardless of the circumstances, that is what is happening.
Have you ever done that?
What?
Captained United.
Captained United?
Man United, yeah.
Man United, first team. I was a standing supervisor once at Asda for about an hour.
Did you have a little armband on?
Yeah, I made myself one out of...
semi-skimmed milk wrapper.
You know when we get married and they wear that thing around the leg?
A garter?
Garter, yeah, I had one of them. And I wrote Skipper on it.
You wrote big man in charge, didn't you?
I was standing supervisor on groceries.
Yeah, cold meat. What do you make of the classic situation we find ourselves in, which is the old second half, play the reserves 11?
Yeah. It makes sense. Give everyone a run out. Some of these lads, it might even be one of the few times they play for Manchester United. Others, it might hopefully the first of many.
Yeah.
You'd think that it's probably going to take a little bit of the sting out of the game. I don't know if Leeds have done anything similar.
They've brought Bamford on. They've brought Dan James
Luke
on.
Ayling, I've just seen now, his man bun.
Got stronger by it.
So they've got. So this could be a difficult one for these youngsters, but get them some minutes. And plus, I think for that first half, it was good to see the likes of Mount obviously doing well. You knew that anyway. You knew, not worried about him. Mainu, Hannibal, I thought played well. Diallo as well. So there's little signs there. It's weird this pre-season because last pre-season where we saw Savage and Iqbal, you thought, oh yeah, there could be something happening here for him. Yeah. And it just didn't. So it'll be interesting how it pans out for the likes of for any youngsters who do well in this pre-season. Is it going to translate into some first team appearances during the season?
A few people making the point as well, and we've made it on Twitter, that it is slightly interesting that Brandon Williams has played over 50 times for the first team for United. Is what I think either one of, if not the oldest player out there, and isn't captain. Yeah,
that is surprising.
Yeah, like
unless there's a thinking there that Erik ten Hag looks at someone like Charlie Savage and thinks you could potentially be a captain one day, and he looks at Brandon Williams and thinks you will never be. You're not a captain. That's not you. You're a player who might make it and go on to have a long career at United or whatever, but you're not a captain. Whereas you might look at Charlie Savage and go, okay, you've not got the experience that Williams has got, but you're a player that has that right attitude that could one day be a skipper.
Yeah. But yeah, that season, that 2019-20 season, he played 36 games for United. Like, he was pretty much first choice left back, wasn't he, for a time?
The thing with Tenag as well, I know it's different. Some of these lads are just young and whatever, but it's hard to write anyone off with him because you don't know, do you? You know, he's got this sort of knack of, you think a player's done, they might get a run of games and just next thing you know, they've got a future.
Wan-Bissaka
exactly. Remember the friendlies last season during the World Cup where we were like, this could be his last game for United. Yeah. He's done. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's going. Talk of, I think Fulham or someone was interested in him, or Palace wanted him back. United were ready to take a hit on him, maybe sell him for 25 million or something. Yeah. And everyone just thought, oh, that's it. And then from December,
it was after Christmas, sorry, great.
Yeah, to the end of the season, and you look at, especially at Wembley, those games at Wembley, he was fantastic. Yeah. And you think, okay, there's definitely a future there. And I think now, most people probably think he's first choice right back over the low. Yeah.
Leeds with a bit of a... Is it free header? Yeah, free header.
He's got that completely wrong.
He's just misjudged it completely. Yeah. He's turned his head too early and ends up hitting him there instead of there. It just goes back where it came from. But should have scored rid of there, shouldn't he? Certainly should have got it on target.
Do you think Williams will be Luke Shaw's
understudy?
Yeah, what do you think we'll see Tellez come back into the team?
I think Malassia's. I think the season he had, I think he pretty much did what you'd hoped him to do. I don't think he was ever going to come in and take Luke Shaw's spot, for the entire season. No. But he was a decent option. Came in, had some good performances in some big games as well. Especially that early doors, after those first two defeats when he swapped him. Yeah. And Malassia had that little run, he did well. So I think Malassia, and he's I know his ceiling's not anywhere near as high as Luke Shaw's, but still only young.
Yeah, 23.
So he's not done.
And it's not weird, but did you see him as well? He seemed to go on holiday with Rashford, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, that's a good sign, I think, that like he's obviously someone who's good to be around. Yeah. Like, they were like at the pool together. They were just chilling. It wasn't just, we were both on the same photo shoot. They were hanging around with each other in America. So he's obviously decent in the dressing room. I don't think he's going to be kicking up a fuss staying as that sort of backup left back.
He seems like he's got a smile on his face when things are going well, obviously. And I can always forgive a player who's not amazing but who gives his all. Yeah. And he does. He battles, and he saw it against Liverpool, early on last season, where I think it was Salah got past him. I can't remember, it might have been Salah.
Yeah, it was. I know what you mean.
And he trapped back and tackled him the second time of asking. He went in, he went past him, he got up, got back and made the tackle. Yeah. And I think you respect that, innit? That's what you want. Like, okay, the levels are probably not quite there, but effort, energy, and like you're saying, being part of the team and getting on with everyone, and just obviously someone you can rely upon if you need to. Yeah. Then definitely I like that, because you mentioned Tellez there, and I think with Tellez, you could see he had certain qualities. He could pick a pass, and he's got a decent ping on him for a dead ball, but he got found out a few times. Like, there was a couple, was it Villarreal or Old Trafford, the one where he was an absolute, it was a disaster. I think he actually scored as well, bizarrely. But had a shocker in terms of...
Tellez you're on about?
Yeah.
There was that game against West Ham as well. Do you remember?
Where was it? Bowen just absolutely skinned him.
Yeah.
There was one where he was miles away from him. He made like a lunge, and he was about 2 yards away, 5 yards away from him. It was just like, what are you doing? I think Malassia's a decent understudy. I think he probably keeps Williams out of the squad. Yeah. I don't think you need them both.
No. I think Malassia, as you say, Anthony and Martinez were like... paramount in changing their dynamic at the beginning of last season. The attitude they all brought in.
Yeah, because early doors, like when he shuffled it a little bit after the Brentford game, because Casemiro wasn't starting yet.
No.
So it was.
We hadn't signed yet.
No, well there's a point. Yeah. So it was Martinez. I think Anthony's debut was Arsenal, wasn't it? Right. That was another big win, but he scored in that as well. And then obviously Malassia. And you just felt like there was like you say, the dynamic changed a little bit. There was a bit more about the team, a bit more sort of togetherness and energy. But it was interesting because we're looking at David De Gea point, and you saw for that Liverpool game how he just said to David De Gea, just clear it, and he said, just forget about playing out the match, just oof it up.
Everyone was a long ball, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it worked for that game, but that obviously isn't the long-term plan. Hence the reason he's gone, and it looks like we're going to get. An honouring.
Yeah. That's weirdly stalled this week, isn't it? We were talking to Darmish about it yesterday from Sky, and he was just sort of saying, like, everyone thinks it's going to get done. Just as Leeds have a corner claimed by Kovar there. Everyone thinks it's going to get done. Inter are willing to sell, but they're asking for a bit more than we want to pay. We're willing to buy, but we want to pay a bit less. The middle ground seems to be very findable. And yet there's been no updates since last Friday when it looked like it might get done. We've not heard anything since. Are you surprised by that?
I think there was reports on Monday that it could be 72 hours. So I kind of get that.
What's that? 3 days?
Yeah. And I didn't think anything had happened on today because of the match and everything. I thought it might be the day after where there is a bit of a breakthrough or an announcement or whatever. Because haven't they agreed terms with him? It's just the clubs have got to get to that. And it feels a bit like Mason Mount. Yeah. They're not a million miles away, are they? Inter aren't going, we want 18, United going, we'll give you 20.
No, or they're not doing a full, like, Tottenham thing where they're like, we're not selling it.
Yeah,
they want to sell
he's going.
Yeah.
There was talk as well, I did the Gazette last weekend, and there was talk of Inter being in for Lloris, I think.
Yeah.
They're looking at him as an option. Because I don't think they're going to spend the full 50 million euros or whatever they get for him.
No.
They're asking for 50
replacement.
Inter.
There'd be no...
I think so.
Would that make him one of the most expensive keepers?
Yeah, I think you've got your little list then, haven't you?
I'm going to guess it would be the
good point.
Third most expensive keeper.
Behind Kepa and
Alisson.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
I hope not. That's a bit too high. And I don't want him to be like the third highest goalkeeper because that's just going to get
same thing with
thrown back in his face anytime he makes a mistake.
Sancho and Maguire, them price tags, they loom over him, don't they?
They do.
So, as it stands, the list is currently Kepa, 80 million euros.
Yeah.
Fucking
hell. That's just stupid.
Alisson, 62.5 million euros. But I think the euro is really strong then, so I think it was like 55 or 60 million quid when it was almost the same.
To be fair, that's money well spent for him.
Yeah, brilliant.
He got him over the line, didn't he? In the two biggest competitions.
Surprisingly, and this doesn't feel right, I think this again is a reflection of... Actually... When did the Euro even begin?
I think was it 2099?
Okay.
Right, I was going to say 2001.
Because the next one is Buffon from Parma to Juve, and they're saying 52 million euros, but I don't think that's right. Maybe it was.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
50 million euros, which must have been, other than Zidane to Real Madrid, the
when was that?
2002.
I think the Euro was very high there.
No, it was 99.
For Rio,
so probably that was more like 30 million quid. I think it was 30 million quid, wasn't it?
Right,
and then now that is 52 million euros, but then it was weaker. I don't know anything. Anyway, but that would put it at third because we're going to pay more than 52 million euros, aren't we? We're going to pay more like 55 million euros, apparently. So yeah, it'd be the third most expensive keeper of all time. Then you've got Ederson, Kasper Sillerson, which is an absolute...
go on, finish. Oh, you got in each other's way.
Come on. Oh, we've done well there, though. Pull it back. Ooh. Who's running onto that there player?
Who was it you got in the way there? They both went for it, didn't they?
Yeah. Good touch there, Charlie.
Going back to Onana, you think with De Gea leaving, it would have sped things up a little bit.
Yeah. I guess it's... I think it seemed to speed it up a bit, and then, like I said, it's still... Let's look at the rest of these top 10 most expensive keepers. So, Kepa, number one, I would say not worth the money. I think...
No.
He's not
he's been back in the first team, but at one point, they bought in Eduardo Mendy, didn't they? Because Kepa was terrible. And he had an issue as well.
60 million euros, definitely worth the money.
Yeah, for me, he's best keeper in the league.
Buffon to Juve, 50 million euros. Hell of a lot of money, but worth it.
Yeah, it's Buffon.
Never won the Champions League, though.
No. Edison, Benfica to City, 40 million euros, definitely worth it.
100%.
Sillerson from Barca to Valencia, which, that to me, looks like money laundering. Because he was their second choice keeper, wasn't that good. And they sold him to Valencia, who don't even have much money, for 35 million euros. The fifth most expensive keeper of all time. What the fuck are we on about?
Innit? Like, when was that?
1920. Was that the same year that they sold Artur to Juventus and bought Pjanic from Juventus, both of them for 60 million euros? Well,
Sounds
actually,
a bit like this City deal, doesn't it?
That's dodgy,
That seems completely above board.
I'm going to say, I think Barcelona selling Kasper Sillerson to Valencia for 35 million euros was dodgy.
Right.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this.
Oh, here we go. We've got an article already. It says,
it's happened again. Look, Barcelona and Valencia to exploit FFP with Silerson and Neto.
That's it then, yeah. From 2019.
So they've done the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Both of the transfers will cost around 30 million. So Neto sold, Valencia sold Neto to Barca for 30 million. Barca sold Silerson to Valencia for 30 million. Although mentally, Neto isn't on this list, even though they're the same. It's literally what they did with Pjanic and Arto. I wasn't making it up. So that one was illegal, but they still did it. And a failure. Thibaut Courtois, Chelsea to Madrid, 35 million. Definitely a good signing. Worth the money. Neuer, Schalke to Bayern. There's a decent hit rate on these, compared to the top 10 most expensive outfield players.
Yep.
Manuel Neuer to Bayern, 30 million euros. Obviously, sensational success. Sunderland to Everton was Jordan Pickford, 28 million.
I'm about to say, I thought he was about 30 million. Yeah. But again, you'd argue that was probably worth it for Everton.
Argue he kept them up last season.
Yeah, like 28 million. It's obviously it's for keeper terms it's a lot. But
here we go. Pull it back.
Nice.
Oh
yes!
Who's that? Emeran there with the goal. Lovely finish.
Good football.
Was really good ball through to him as well. Opened his body up.
Enjoy your moment, son.
Yeah. Good lad. How good would that feel?
Scoring for United.
Oh, can you even imagine it?
That's just mint, isn't it? I'd be doing a Diogo Dalot, doing about 10 celebrations.
Yeah, me too.
Who is it that slipped the ball through?
Don't know.
Someone's got a stinker there.
Do you know what? He does really well. It's a good little touch away.
Close that. Close that. I think he's on.
And the keeper almost...
He looks like he's off, to be honest, doesn't he? But
sort of... He sees where... He knows where it's going to go and just lets it happen.
Through the legs?
I think it's just next to his leg. I can't tell.
Who's that? That Melia?
No, I don't think it is. Unless it is. He didn't look like him to me. He might have grown his hair out though.
There's a boss.
I could see you wearing that tracksuit.
Yeah? Yeah, it's
white,
nice.
little cream, orange and a bit of red
yeah,
and
a
bit
of
that. Green underneath the armpit. There's no VAR, is there?
Nah, surely not.
No. Okay, 1-0 to Manchester United. And it was Noam Emeran with the goal, or Emiran. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. Good for him.
Oh, there you go. Van den Heuvel is Leeds keeper. Oh, thank you there, the team there. Thanks for that, producer Callum or Ethan.
Back to our list. We've only got 2 left. Ramsdale, Sheffield United to Arsenal, 28 million. I think they would say it's only been 1 or 2 years.
They love him though, and he plays the way they want to play.
Yeah,
like they want to play with him a bit like as a sweeper keeper, and he does that.
Yeah. And finally, Francesco Toldo in that 2001-2 season again. Fiorentina to Inter Milan.
How much?
26 million euros. They were spending money, weren't they? 90s and early 2000s in Italy.
Yeah.
And all it takes is
the thing is
a huge scandal.
Like what I was saying to you with the kid we were talking about, was it James Trafford or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
Like he's going to come in. He's going to be a first team player for Manchester United. He's going to massively help the way we want to play.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's integral to the way Erik ten Hag wants to play.
Yeah.
So, and he's young as well. He's 27, I think. So he's in goalkeeping terms, he's very young. So
you look at,
I can understand it being about 50 million quid, and I think it's like, well, it'll look bad on that list because people go, oh, he's one of the most expensive keepers ever. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And he's also just got to a Champions League final where he had a very good game as well, didn't he?
And if you look at goalkeepers as well, it's a position where they tend to stay for a long time. Mm-hmm. Like De Gea, 12 years. Alisson, was it 5-6 years now? Ederson, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Even like Lloris has been at Tottenham for a very long time.
Well, that's how they judge it, innit? With transfers, clubs, they don't judge it on like, just what they get from him when he goes on, but how much have they had out of him?
Yeah.
If he used to spend 5 years at United for those 50 million, they'd say, oh, it's worth it. Then.
We talk about Van der Sar. We got him when he must have been about 35.
Yeah, he was, right.
Had a good 5 years of us.
One of the biggest mysteries in football, what he was doing at Fulham.
It is sort of Barcelona selling Kasper Silerson to Valencia for 35 million kind of controversy in it. How was he playing for Fulham?
I don't know. Like, what's going on there?
Was it before? Was it Brad Friedel before as well?
It's like, what are you doing here?
Because he was. Did
he go? Was it Ajax, Juve, and then Fulham?
Yeah. Like, his stock was incredibly high at Ajax because he won the Champions League.
Yeah, he won the Champions League.
Then went to Juve. Was only there for 2 years. I guess he was then replaced by Buffon.
Right.
That deal.
But still, you're still one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you're still, 32, 33. So you're not done.
No, and the other thing with the Fulham thing is, he was there for 4 years.
All right, so he actually went there when he was 31.
Yeah.
So he was still young. Right,
in his prime.
As a goalkeeper. Champions League winner. One of the best keepers in the world. Goes to Fulham, who's probably aiming to stay in the Premier League.
I guess it was this idea that...
Is that handball?
That Buffon had taken his place, so how good could he be, maybe? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even so, it's a lot, isn't it? But yeah, a lot of... Apparently United were interested in him. In 1999, Van der Sar's stature as one of Europe's top goalkeepers drew attention from Manchester United, who sought a replacement for Peter Schmeichel. However, Van der Sar moved to Juventus for a fee believed to be in the region of $5 million. Wouldn't it have been amazing if we'd have just had him from 99 onwards?
Do you think we went through Bartes,
Bosnich,
Sahibi, Bosnich?
Yeah.
Who else was there?
Van der
Ricardo,
Gaal.
was it?
Foster.
Was that Tim Howard later or?
No, Howard. Yeah.
Howard was,
yeah.
Roy Carroll, was that around the same time as
time.
well? Yeah. Nick Culkin, of course.
Famously.
I mean,
my favourite of the Culkin brothers,
100%.
by the way. Underrated. He was actually
great in Succession.
He does the voice for the Home Alone toys.
Right,
Do you know, like Tom Hanks' brother does the Woody voice for
does
the
it?
Woody toys? Yeah. So when you hear "There's a snake in my boot" on the toy, that's actually Tom Hanks' brother.
Right.
And he's made a career through that.
Right.
Nick Culkin actually does the Macaulay Culkin voiceovers on all the merch for Home Alone.
Okay.
Not a lot of people know that.
So he's the you guys give up or you're thirsty for more. That's
the healthier
That's
brother.
him. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
I'm gonna call the cops.
Yeah,
whatever it says.
right.
That
That's
scream,
Nick
that
Culkin.
patented scream,
Yeah.
aftershave on face scream. That's Nick Culkin. It's amazing. It's actually amazing, really, isn't it, when you think about it?
He was at that chat. He was
finest.
at the fundraiser, Nick Culkin, in between his Home Alone gig that we had a few weeks ago, the Len Johnson one.
Are you a fan of him?
Yeah, he's legend.
He played one game for United.
Do you know what about Nick Culkin? He played I think it's the record for the fewest amount of minutes for anyone who's played for United. He came on. United played Arsenal at Highbury. In the last minute of the game, Martin Keown took Raymond van der Gaal's head off with a challenge to score, thinking he was going to get given the goal, and he just booted Van der Gaal in the face. Van der Gaal got stretched off. Nick Culkin came on, took the free kick, and that was the end of the game.
Right, here you go.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened, if memory serves.
Nick Culkin made the shortest Premier League debut in history when playing for United against Arsenal in 1999. Sir Alex Ferguson's Premier League champions visited Highbury to play Arsenal. It was an early season encounter. Let me just get to the actual numbers here. It's a long article for really. I want a stat.
30 seconds or something. It depends how long he was still on the pitch when they were stretchering. If they were still stretchering Van Gaal, but I presume they weren't.
It's honestly one of the longest articles I've ever seen. Look at this. I've never seen a longer article on the MEN than that. I think it was 2 seconds.
Right. So I remember him coming on, taking a free kick, and then the whistle was blown. So,
here we go. Culkin was substituted on and made history by making the shortest Premier League debut of all time. It was just 2 seconds.
There you go. That's what I told you that.
That's incredible. Did he take the free kick as well?
Pretty sure he took the kick.
So that's got to be the most touches per minute of any Premier League footballer of all time.
What year was this? 99, yeah?
99.
So
he's a record breaker.
Oh, sit down. Leeds fans getting giddy. So Nick Culkin has played for the Premier League champions, unlike Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And I think these days he'd get a
Nick Culkin has played 2 more seconds for the Premier League champions than Steven Gerrard ever has.
Yeah.
And starred in Hollywood.
Yes.
Exactly.
And does the voiceover for the Home Alone toys.
It's amazing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a life.
And he's mates with Stephen Howson.
Is he?
Yes, yeah.
Is that actually true?
Yeah.
He knows.
Because he came into, we were chatting to him at that fundraiser, He was at FC. I think he played at FC because it was an FC United Legends versus the Len Johnson All Stars, and he was chatting to Steve, and Steve says, "I'm trying to get him on Paddock," and I was like, "You recognise someone?" I didn't thought, "Who is it?"
Yeah,
because obviously 24 years ago he played 2 seconds United. It's not like he was at the forefront of my memory.
According to Wikipedia, he also played 1 game for FC United of Manchester.
Yeah, that's why he was in. He played in that game. He was like one of the legends of FC because he swapped the goalkeepers.
But who was he a legend of?
FC United.
He's offside here.
FC United. No, it was the FC United Legends. That's what it was.
But he got legend status by playing 1 game for him.
And yeah,
he was only on for 5 seconds. I think.
Yeah,
let's
almost tripling his United.
Let's just say as well, he took the fundraising charity game in the spirit it was intended to be in. Can I just say that without throwing him under a bus?
What does that mean? Was he playing a Game Boy in the net?
More or less. He more or less sort of indicated to us that if we were to shoot, maybe the scoreline would be better than it was.
And did that manifest?
Yes.
Did it? One of them where the ball's just rolling. And like you see, it's a charity.
At one point,
we're going to get little Vinny on. He's 4 years old to take a penalty, and it goes that way.
Yeah.
1 man out, and the keeper goes.
At one point, he made it blatantly obvious he was doing us a favour. But they still won on penalties, FC United, but it was a friendly.
Because when it came to penalties, he was back into
I think they swapped the keepers
mode.
back to the one who could be bothered.
That's unfair, man. Culkin's turned up, and then now you don't even let him take
It was funny though. It was. He was good. He was good stuff. But I think the Steve's trying to get him on Paddock FC. Obviously.
That's a lovely turn. He's done well, he has.
That was good.
Who is that, sir? I keep... This
Which
guy
one,
in the middle
sorry?
here, number 58.
I thought he scored Hardham. I think it's Rowan or something.
Is it Hansen Aaron?
Aaron, yeah.
He's looked really good. He did well for the goal. He was the one that got the assist as well.
Yeah.
Hack FX says Will Fish is goated.
Will Fish. He had a bit of a tough time of it, didn't he, last pre-season, Will Fish?
Yeah.
Because he had that mistake in that game and then he didn't get injured.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was an own goal or whatever.
Yeah.
We bumped into him, didn't we, in Melbourne?
Yeah. Would you say you got a smell of fish?
Nice. Nicely done.
Leave the camera on, Jay. People keep... Chic Game says, did you guys play football as kids?
Yes.
You did, didn't you, last weekend?
Yeah. Yes.
With your, what I would call, morally wrong mask that you wear.
Just turned up at my lad's school and joined in.
What do you mean I can't play for the under-10s?
Hey.
I'm trying.
I remember once, right, when I was working at the soccer dome, I used to do kids' party at the weekend, and it was the worst moment of my life because I was hungover.
Yeah.
Every week. And you do these kids' parties.
I was hungover for
like
2 years.
Honestly. And you'd have these kids' parties, and we'd do 5-a-side game with them, then penalties. And one of the kids' parties, it was like an 8-year-old or whatever. It was his birthday, and all his mates were playing, and his dad played.
Right.
The kid was called, I think he was called Denton or something. And his dad was in
Named
full
after
kit.
Denton?
Probably. His dad was in full kit with shinies and everything, right? Right, honestly.
No, he wasn't wearing shin pads.
Yeah.
Against 8-year-olds.
Right, flying into tackles,
No
right,
way.
blasting the ball, and I had to say to him, bro, come here, man, I want to chat to you. I went, the fucking 8 years old, what are you doing? Like,
He absolutely Michael Owened it.
He did, and then you know what he did, right? He went, all right, sorry, bro. I said, you can't be doing that. He said, if you want to play, like, fair enough, but you can't be doing what you're doing. Right, sorry. At the end, we do penalties. He went in goal, saved every penalty except his son's. Yeah, kids.
Wait, he was playing against his son?
Yeah, and then he let his son score and saved all the others. Like, it was horrible. I was like, this isn't the spirit of a fucking kid's party. What are you doing?
It was horrible.
Like, he was just, he's like, that's how I remember his son's name was Denton.
If you had to name your son after any part of Manchester, where would it be?
The obvious one would be Weast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young Weast.
Weast Mottershead. It's got a ring to it, hasn't it?
It has, actually. It sounds like you need a cream to get rid of it, I'll be honest.
Sounds like an instruction.
Yeah,
Go on Weast Mottershead.
Yeah, Weast would be
Where
good.
would you know?
If I had to name her... Well, you could have your first one be called Broughton, and then your second one be called Lower Broughton.
Right,
Because they're not as big.
Yeah.
They're smaller.
So Broughton and Lower Broughton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Personally.
What about you, Pat? If you had to name your kid after somewhere in Manchester?
I mean, maybe Moston.
Yeah.
The alliteration, Moston, Mohol.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Sounds important, doesn't it?
That is really...
Yeah,
that
it sounds like a wedding venue.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like a Second World War sort of politician.
Moston Mulhall.
Moston Mulhall.
Refused
Sounds
to bow down to
important.
the
Yeah.
Nazis.
Sounds important.
Yeah.
Moston Mulhall.
Who left the army due to shin splints.
Yeah.
I like that. Castle. Someone saying Castle. Just put Castlefield.
Castle. Castlefield.
Castlefield.
It's a place to be, innit?
No
Castlefield
surname.
Bowl.
I went to a gig at Castlefield Bowl the other week.
It
Unbelievable
looks
venue.
sick. That's what I was just
honestly,
saying. It looks mint.
I'd never been before. It's a brilliant venue because it's 8,000 people.
Right.
But he's
that offside?
He's on.
No, he's on. Is that Hugo?
Hugo with the goal. Good
Go
lad.
on, my son.
Good position in that centre of the box.
Missed that.
Leeds players missed it as well. They were sort of looking all around, weren't they? Next thing, he's unmarked. Nice first time finish.
Go on.
Good
Fucking
lad.
dude.
One more and get my 3-0 now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I want to see this again. What happened here? It's just a good run, isn't it? Off the shoulder, tucks back in.
Yeah, there's the kid there,
The man.
left back, playing him on.
And a
finish.
nice sort
Good
of
finish, yeah.
sweeps it into the bottom corner, doesn't he? Goal and an assist as well.
Leeds United just provide comedy, don't they, to us fans? Like, every fucking season. And even like a pre-season friendly descends into comedy.
Yeah.
It's like, it must be horrible being a Leeds fan.
Yeah. And I was saying this, well, so was it on the preview, but I bet they feel like they're due a big money takeover as well, don't they?
Yeah. It's like you making a point because they're the only club in Leeds.
Yeah.
Like in that area,
Yeah.
that region of Yorkshire.
They're not had a takeover. Was it the 49ers? Took
Yeah,
them over?
but I think I reckon they'd have loved that Newcastle Saudi piece.
Yeah,
Of course they
yeah.
would.
They'd have loved that.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
They'd
Because they'll be
have-
thinking,
they-
why have they gone for Newcastle? We're bigger than Newcastle.
Yeah,
Like, do you know all that? Like, all those sort of legacy big teams come out.
Yeah.
Where the only reason they're big is because they used to be big.
Yeah.
You know, sort of your Sheffield Wednesdays, your Leedsers,
You Wolves.
your Wolves.
Yeah.
Correct, Jay. Very well said.
Thank you.
Your Newcastles.
Yeah.
But really,
Coventry, says Andy Tate.
yeah. there you go.
Arsenal.
Arsenal,
Arsenal's
nice.
another one. Very, very well done. Love a bit of satire there.
Yeah.
Love a bit of humour.
Do you reckon the Leeds fans are going to kick off at this friendly now? It's like
I hope
wrecking
so.
the gaff.
Hope they start doing racist chants like they did outside the last one that we were
Oslo
there.
seeing a bit
Yeah.
of violence.
Yeah.
That was good. That was the first fan cam I ever did as a presenter, if you want to call it
Yeah.
that. And there was just Leeds fans chanting sort of certainly xenophobic, probably racist chants behind us.
Really?
Yeah, which was quite interesting.
It's mad because I remember I've been at Ellen Road once, I've always say this, and I will never go back.
Yeah.
And I remember some woman calling me a black Munich, see you next Tuesday, and spitting at me. And she was about my mum's age.
Jesus.
Now,
And I was like, wow.
when you think of all of the ways you could insult you as a United fan in
Yeah.
that moment,
She
She's
in
fucking-
4 seconds,
she's
she
nailed
got
it.
them all
She's
in.
the
well, she's nailed it in 4 words.
And
a
managed to
gob.
spit as well.
That's genuinely horrendous,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it was absolutely. It was. You know what? I tried to find her on Facebook and add her in that because I said, "What's your name, Elijah?" She was too busy getting carted off by the police. But yeah, I thought I'm never coming back in. At the end of the game, all my mates lads, we kept us in for about an hour.
Spat at you as well.
Yeah,
Where
we just
was
don't-
she?
Like when they took us from the coach to the ground, and honestly, I've never been more relieved to see coppers. So we were just getting like shepherded in, and I was
Yeah.
like just minding my own business. I wasn't drunk. Well, I was drunk, but I wasn't like kicking off and out. And then some woman here has got bottled as well. It was minging.
What, a
So
United fan?
Yeah, it was in the Carling Cup. It was when Owen scored those 2 goals on the road, and they were all just they'd not played us for a little while. They were kicking off. They were spitting. They were throwing things at us. They were just minging. So yeah, we got in there. It was like some out of a war film or something. It was mental. Got in, like we couldn't get drinks and everything there. Like when the beer and everything's wearing off. Won the game, buzzing, kept us in there for an hour. And after the game, lads I was with like, right, come on, let's go and fucking find these lads. Like, yeah, right, I'm going back to the coach. See you later. Like, I'm not walking around some corner and bumping into 500 Leeds fans who just kill us.
No.
I've never been about that anyway, so yeah, it was horrible though.
So where were you when that happened then?
Just right near the ground, right near, I think it was near the statue, is it Billy Bremner or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Just near, I think so, I might misremember. I'm pretty
Before
sure
the game or
statue.
after?
But this is before the game when it was all kicking
Really,
off.
yeah.
Because you came out and the coach and everything, he shepherded us in, and it was just horrible. Like, I've never seen anything like it. I've done ways fucking all over the gaff, but it was proper nutty. I remember chatting to him, Dad, and he was like, because he used to go Leeds away in the 70s and 80s and that, he said he's always been like, it's just been crazy. But yeah, it was minging. Like,
Mental, that. Horrible.
yeah, they're just different, aren't they?
Jed91 said, Joe, what was Castlefield Bowl like? Really good. I'd recommend
Who did you see there?
It was the Saw Doctors, which is... Oh, he's done well here. Oh, lucky.
Go on. The Saw Doctors?
They're an Irish band.
Right, okay.
And they're quite... It's almost like... They play like the same songs all the time. They've been around for years.
Yeah.
But everyone knows every word to every song.
Right.
Just like,
have they got a big song that I might know? No, 'cause I feel like I've heard of the Saw
I
Doctors.
don't know, because I only heard of them through Lizzie's family. They always go see them. So I don't know what their biggest song is. They've done covers of big songs, but I don't know if that...
Let's have a little googly boogly and see what they are.
Just play them straight down the mic so we get banned. But they're quite a fun band, so that was good to see. I'm messing about there. But the venue itself is really good.
Yeah, I've still not been there.
Have you not? No. It's good. It's like big. It's weird because it's like concrete and it's always there, or like slabs or whatever. But it's like these steps that take you up at the back, so it's quite steep. They're normally like a festival venue. It'd be like just flat all the way out. It's just a field. But it's got the flat bit, but then it has got some like banked seating as well, and it's outdoor, which you don't normally get in England. So it's really good. What are you laughing at?
Right. This is the most random thing I have ever seen on a band's Wikipedia page, right? So you've got the Saw Doctors, yeah? The Saw Doctors are an Irish rock band formed in 1986 in Tuam, County Galway.
There you go.
Did 18 top 30 singles in Republic of Ireland. Now, there's several segments to their Wikipedia page.
My favourite one to ever see is Controversies.
Right, there's not that. That's a good one, though. But there's Career.
There's the country.
No, Career is in their... their work career.
Yeah.
Career.
As in the country.
Discography.
Yeah. Sorry,
discography.
I'm the gun, you talk.
Yeah. Music samples. And in the middle of all this is Lottery Win. What? There's a segment on Lottery Win. Right? And I love this.
I've never seen that.
I have never seen that on a band's page before in my life. It says in April 1993, the Saw Doctors keyboard and accordion player, Tony Lambert, who had previously played with Bonnie Tyler, won approximately €2 million when he won the jackpot in the Irish National Lottery's lotto game. Lambert, who at the time was living in a converted bus that he'd driven from his native Wales to Galway and parked just off the N17 road, had purchased, gives you details of where he got his ticket. After his win, I love this as well. After his win, he left the band.
Really?
Screw you.
Yeah, sat like, I've got €2 million to get through, and settled in County Galway, where he restored an old house and built his own recording studio. He died in Thailand 5 years ago. But yeah,
what?
He died in Thailand 5 years ago. But he smashed it.
Wow. In my head, a band is the sort of thing you do when you retire.
Like, and if you won the lottery,
Yeah.
it's not like you're gonna go, right, well, I don't have to do the grind anymore. Like, I don't have to play the keyboard for the Saw Doctors anymore. I can go and do something like I've always wanted to do.
Yeah,
like go and work on a building site.
Yeah, get a job in a call centre.
Yeah,
like
finally.
Finally, I can
Living
put my
the
feet
dream.
up.
Relax.
That's like,
Yeah.
I would still do this job if I won the
Yeah,
lottery.
I would.
mean, maybe I might have 3 months where you didn't see me.
Yeah.
But like the thing I love doing is chatting about Man United.
Yeah.
Surely he likes playing keyboards.
And also, he obviously loved music still because he went and built a studio in his house.
Yeah.
So
Do
it
you
wasn't
reckon he
like...
let them record in the studio? Or?
I reckon he fully was like, nah, not happening. You're not coming round.
Booked up. What day do you want? Booked up that day.
£100 an hour.
Yeah, it's not happening. I've got Nick Culkin coming in to record the latest Home Alone voiceover.
Very nice. And it's gone full circle there. It's really good stuff, Jake. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but now they're selling out. I think it's one of the bigger gigs they've done that in England.
The Saw Doctors, yeah, I've heard like...
But 8,000 tickets,
that's good.
It's amazing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Headlining that.
I saw the Hacienda Classics thing there the other night, pictures on Twitter, and I thought I'd love to have gone to that.
Yeah, the Streets were there last year.
What were they?
Were they?
Yeah.
Good.
Saw Arctic Monkeys at the Old Trafford Cricket Ground.
Did you?
Weeks back, that was good.
Was it?
It was a good gig,
I
yeah.
like that. I like how much stick he gets as well.
Alex Turner.
Yeah, I think it's all just
Dodgy American accent.
Yeah, but who cares? It's just funny, isn't it? It's
Wants
just
to be
having a
David
laugh.
Bowie, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really bothered, to be honest with you, what he gets up to with his accent.
No, me neither. Exactly. Unless it's
Steve
Joey
McLaren,
Barton, the
innit?
French one.
When Steve McLaren went full.
Oh, yeah.
Dutch, was it?
Arsenal, for sure.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go, son. Get yourself
Nice.
out of that
well
one.
done.
Nice.
Good stuff, that.
Did well there.
I like that. It's good as well. The system's remained unchanged, and United have still been the better team,
Yeah.
even with you know,
Even look better, you could say.
Yeah, he's got some corner ball.
Yes. Love that.
You love a corner, don't you?
I love the fact they'll be absolutely fuming now. 90th minute, United 2-0 up, we just got a corner.
Yeah, and all the kids have beaten them 2-0.
Yeah, Leeds fans will just be raging. Just been relegated. Playing United in friendly. Our first teams come out. Let's put their resis out. We'll do them here, and you just got beat 2-0.
Do you know when you talk about misinformation on the internet?
Yeah.
So Truffle Pup in the comments has just said, a few weeks ago, Joe was saying he hated Arctic Monkeys. Haha.
That was the 3-0.
Go on, get a 3-0 there.
Saying he loved Block Party. That didn't happen.
Saw them at Victoria Warehouse as well.
I'll be honest with you, right? I think I've spent more time on camera with you than I've ever done with anyone in my life.
Yeah.
We've done hours and hours of content together. Mm-hmm. I'll be truthful. I've never heard you mention Block Party.
You've never heard me say the words Block Party?
No.
Ever.
But someone did. Someone who was sat there.
Who was it?
I don't know who it was. It wasn't you. Someone who was on either a watch along or a review or a podcast with us mentioned Block Party.
Well, that's maybe one for another day. But Manchester United have won 2-0.
You watched that, right?
Against
that video,
Leeds.
And you know who it was who mentioned Block Party. Yeah. It was this tonight. I was there, you were there, and someone who was there, it wasn't you. Someone on another video. I don't remember. It was a podcast. I think it was a podcast. I think it wasn't that long ago. Mentioned Block Party.
And Truffle Pups come back. Joe, you said it on the live stream. I didn't. I would never say I didn't like Arctic Monkeys. And I would never, and I like Block Party, but they would never be my go-to band to say someone who I love. This person is... said, my bad, maybe someone else said it.
I love that.
I love that.
No, I love
Brilliant.
that.
Sorry.
You know what I mean?
It's gone
Fair
for
enough.
it.
No, someone did mention Block Party.
He's backed out. Maybe Carl Anka, someone's saying.
Yeah, it might have been. That's not a bad shout. Someone like that. It could have been him.
Right, now everyone's saying Joe loves Block Party in the comments.
Wasn't Joe McGrath, was it?
Was it not McCullough? People thinking Carl Anka. Oh, this is kicking off now. I think it was the other Joe. Might have been Joe McGrath.
It might have been Joe McGrath. That makes... I think it was. I think we've got to the bottom of that. We're going to do a review now, me and Joe.
Yes.
So stick around. This stream will take you to that review. After we've done our review, we'll hear from Andy Tate. Also hear from Stephen Howson as well. But before we do all that, Pat, where can people find you?
Find me on Instagram, @CharlieBoyManson. That's where all my content is. And yeah, it's been great to have me.
What kind of content is that?
Music is the main thing. I'm a musician, local musician, so can find all that on there, yeah.
Yeah, right. Support local music. So go and check out Pat. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers for
coming
coming,
on
it's
again
really good.
Soon as well.
Yeah.
Joe, always a pleasure. Make
Thank
sure
you.
you're not doing hit like, share and subscribe, and stick around. We're going to be back with the review in 2 minutes. Thanks for watching.